Forgot to update that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Like I said, I apologize. We're absolutely behind, but we're behind for a good reason. we're behind for a good reason. Welcome in all the beautiful people. Welcome in, guys. As we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It is only one coin. It will boost live and push us out to the FYP. Like I said, I apologize. The reason why we're behind this morning is because I had a video that I wanted to post. And so I posted the video before we went live. So the video is it's on everywhere. Posted the video everywhere. it was a video calling out MAGA. So it'll be interesting to see if not only if any of them responds, but if that encourages MAGA to like get in here and you know, get active with me. You saw it? I know that's right. I know that's right. Anywho, guys, welcome in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. As you guys all can see, we have a new background. That means new topics. That means that new people can get active. And guys, I just want to let you know that MAGA, it's not just about you. There's a lot of people that got caught lacking. And America got caught lacking, and you're going to hear a bit of a caveat at the end, but you know what? Let's talk about Republicans. They're mindless, moralless sheep. Republicans have absolutely been caught lacking when it comes to any type of morality. They don't even pretend to care about things anymore. They don't even pretend to care about the Constitution. They don't pretend to care about people. They don't even pretend to actually have a thought of their own. But I guess that's to be expected, right? Moderate Dems, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again. Moderate Dems, they lack a backbone. Moderate Dems have been caught lacking a backbone. Simple. Easy. Men, as a whole, we lack an understanding of consent. Men have such a hard time with consent. And I'm not just talking about consent when it comes to relationships, women, things like that, but just consent as a whole. And they show their lack of understanding of consent through the way that they view the world and through the actions that they take. Men have absolutely been caught lacking. Leftists, listen, back to back calling out groups that I belong to because I am a leftist, but there's a lot of leftists that they don't have a understanding of political direction. Now, I know there are some leftists don't participate in the political system. I get that. But the ones that do, a lot of them have a hard time understanding like how we should be driving the country. And so you see some people who claim to be leftists, but do wild shit like say, well, I didn't like what this candidate was saying or doing, so I decided to vote for Donald Trump. Or you even see something that's like, you know what? I want things to get so bad that the whole system crashes and then something better comes from it. While at the same time, not having an idea at all about what to do next. That's a problem. That's a problem. Last but not least, I know that I said this is about America, right? I know I said this is about America. But even though this is about America, we have to talk about international MAGA. And I have a hard time with this one because I don't normally let MAGA, right? I don't normally let MAGA actually get up here and international MAGA get up here and speak. But I think it's important. I think it's important because international MAGA, they don't really understand what's happening. And I know they pretend that they are so up to date on politics. They are so up to date on the actual idea of what's happening in the country. And they love Donald Trump for some crazy reason, but they have no idea what's happening into the country. And for you to be someone that's outside of the United States and somehow champion a fascist that you see from afar, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But you know what? They've wanted their chance to shine. This is your chance to shine. International MAGA, Maple MAGA, whatever you want to call yourself, get up here. Get up here and debate me. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off right. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. And if you have a problem with anything that I said, or maybe one of the people that I just tagged in the video that I just posted, maybe they're going to get the testicular fortitude to come up here and debate me. I doubt it, but let's see. Regardless, let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
Nope.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all. Yo. Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. In the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare.
What up, Philip? Dubs in chapter Philip of the Galaxy.
Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah, this ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space.
It absolutely is.
Sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It is only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. America has gotten caught lacking, but it's not just America, it's the world. It's the world, because International MAGA, you are a part of the group that is lacking. Now, let's see here. This is interesting. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Hi, Shorty, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Okay. We're gonna drop you down. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Nigga.
Okay. Well, I mean, he waited in the box just to do that, I guess. It's weird how they have their, oh, where is it? Oh, can't go there. He literally waited in the box. Okay. So guys, let me tell you why that just happened. That just happened because I've been blocking them as they come up on their spam accounts, right? And what he did, got to kind of give it to him. What he did was actually come up on his main account, do it and run really fast. But the funny thing about that is I still have his account. So now his main account is going to be blocked because, again, I've been blocking anyone who tries to request up on their spam accounts, and they won't come up here and actually debate me. Just like this person that's currently in the box, Zipper 10, who has 6 followers and following 36 people. I'm going to go ahead and block you. Hey, Bubba, come back on your main account. I'm not doing troll accounts. I'm not doing spam accounts. You guys get a life. Get a life. With that being said, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals to help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Again, we have switched the topics. This is a new topic, and I am taking aim at all the people that were caught lacking. Yes. There are a bunch of people that have been caught lacking. First and foremost, Republicans. We know for a fact that Republicans have been caught lacking because Republicans are nothing but mindless, moralless sheeps. You know what's the funny thing about people who claim to be Republicans? The funniest thing when it comes to people that claim to be Republicans, have you guys always noticed that the people that claim to be Republicans are Christians? Like they're ones that always have, if you take a look at their bio, they have like the cross in their bio. They have like a Bible verse in their bio, you know, like all those things to try to pretend as if they are godly, as if they have a sense of righteousness, morality, and they never do. They never do. They're always the ones that actually come up and do what the last guy just did. They always do that. They always go on to TikTok lives and they let their mask fall really quickly. And when I say really quickly, I mean either they just showed themselves to be a horrible human being, they slur and they crash out, or they just lean into the hateful things that everyone highlights as the problem with Christianity. That's the thing. That's the thing. But the fact that they follow Donald Trump and whatever Donald Trump says without any type of pushback or logical thinking, I mean, like it's mind-blowing. And the bigger thing that I have a problem with is not only are they some ones that are just followers, they're sheeps. And guys, don't get me wrong, they get really upset when we call them sheeps. So when they get in here, if they get in here, let's not call them sheeps, shall we? Shall we? Can we just like make a decision together to not call them sheeps, because that really hurts their fifis when we do so. Calling them sheeps really hurt their fifis. Now, what I will say is they absolutely follow the lead of a man that says absolutely batshit, bottom of the barrel, stupid things like this.
And you know, I could with one swipe of the pen, I could say, let's have no employment, and I'll hire 1 million people or 2 million people. I say, we just hired 1 million people and we have absolutely no employment. And that's what they would do. They'd have bad numbers coming up, so they'd hire a couple of 100,000 people and the numbers would look okay. With me, it's the exact opposite. We terminate a lot of federal jobs that are unnecessary. And they don't like me for doing it, but a year later, they like me because they end up having a much better job, oftentimes in a place where they'd much rather live. You know, they go to the place that they want to go. They're not stuck in Washington or someplace else. And
I see a lot of people picked up on the first thing, but I don't think enough people picked up on all the things that he said. I see that people picked up on him saying that with the swipe of a pen, we could have no employment. I don't think that's what he meant. Even though he repeated it multiple times. No employment. I think he meant no unemployment, because that's the claim, right? His claim is that Democrats, the reason why their job numbers look so good while Joe Biden was in office is because he was just using the pen to create a bunch of jobs. That's what he was saying. That was the entire premise of what he was saying. And he said that if he did the same thing, then yep, he could create a bunch of jobs as well. Now, the issue with that is that's not how it works. And we're not talking no employment. But then did you pick up on the fact that he's been pushing this narrative that people are actually happy that they're getting fired? Did anyone else catch that? Did anyone pick up on the fact that he said, oh, they're happy because they come back a year later and they don't have to live in Washington, D.C. anymore and da-da-da-da-da? I don't know about you guys. I genuinely don't. But I don't know of anyone that's just happy to get fired. That sounds illogical. That sounds absolutely illogical. But that's his logic, that the people who are upset now are going to be happy. And the crazy thing about all of this, though, is that when you talk about the actual unemployment rate, well, it's skyrocketed. But if you take a look at the private and public sector, it's suffering in both sectors because of Donald Trump and his actual policies. Yeah. Now, guys, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I got some good news and I got some bad news. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think that you guys are going to like what I'm going to share. But I'm going to share it anyway. I don't think that you guys are going to like what I'm going to share. But I'm going to share it anyway. So the interesting thing about Donald Trump and what he did yesterday, because he has a actual tendency of, for some reason, thinking that people want to hear him speak every day. And like, that's the whole thing with MAGA. They're like, well, at least Trump is out. We know what the president's doing and da-da-da-da-da. First and foremost, the president is not supposed to speak to the American people every day. You are not our friend. You're not our neighbor. We don't like you, and we don't need to hear from you every fucking day. Like, hearing from the president of the United States of America used to actually be important. Now, not only do we have to hear from Donald Trump every single day, but now we have to hear every single thing that comes to Donald Trump's mind every single day. And we all know how dangerous Donald Trump's mind is. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? Before I play the other sound for you, I want you guys to hear this, because Donald Trump has been repeating this over and over and over and over and over.
We should have, in my opinion, anybody running for president or vice president should take a cognitive test. And no president has ever taken one except me. I've taken 3 of them, and I've aced each one. 1 in the first administration, 2 over here. And whenever they get a little sassy, like, does he still have it? Does he still have what it takes? I say, all right, I'll take another one. And they are hard. There are many people in this room I know that are smart. They're not going to ace them. There are many people standing back there. The fake news media. That I'd like to have them. You know, the first question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel. Okay, which is the squirrel?
Yeah. So, Donald Trump is saying that he has been taking a cognitive test to show that he is absolutely mentally sharp. Right? And he said that he's taken multiple tests. Now, I want to start this by saying I am not a licensed doctor. I am not diagnosing Donald Trump. I do not know the test that he has taken specifically, and I am not making any diagnosis. Period. I want to start there. I want to be very clear with that. But Donald Trump has described the cognitive test that he's taken many times. I'm going to replay this portion, and I want you guys to listen to the beginning of what he says when it comes to the test that he's taken.
Question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel. Okay, which is the squirrel?
Okay, so again, not a professional, not a licensed professional. Haven't seen any of his diagnoses or anything. I don't even play a doctor on TikTok. But what I will say is that there are reports where people started to notice one thing about the fact that he keeps highlighting that the first question in the test that he has taken, the cognitive test that he's taken, it's always the test that identifies the animals, right? He always he's talked about this multiple times. It's the test where he identifies the animals. People have put together that if this is the test that he has been taking, then more than likely it's the MOCA cognitive test. The Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MOCA, right? And what that is, it's a widely used about 10-15 minute screening tool. It's designed to detect cognitive impairment and early Alzheimer's. It assesses the memory, language, executive function, and operation typically scored out of 30, with scores at 25 or below indicating impairment. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if this is the actual test that he took or not, but apparently that is the standard first question for the MOCA. And if that's the case, then it's very telling that Donald Trump has taken multiple assessments. And I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. Now, this is the person that MAGA is deciding to follow, right? And when I say MAGA, they're sheepless, mindless, moralless followers. It's because when Donald Trump does speak and he says shit that's off the wall, and when we hear it, normal people say, WTF. But when MAGA hears it, they stand up, they applaud, and they say, thank you, sir. May I have another? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Listen to this.
Idea how big that is. The businesses do. so that businesses can deduct 100% of the cost of new facilities, equipment, and capital investment in the first year. It used to take 38 years of deduction. Now you get it done in one. You can take one so you can expand. I think that's what made us so successful in the first term, but now we have it for a 10-year period. So you have it for a while. I really was going to make it for a 1-year period. That would mean you spend all your money immediately. Now, unfortunately, I gave you too much time. I was sort of against that. I said, let's do it for a shorter period of time, but we did it. It's the right thing. And this way, when I get out of office in, let's say, 8 or 9 years from now, I'll be able to use it. I'll be able to use it myself.
Okay, so I want to start here. I want to start here by saying I understand. I get a joke. I do. I am someone that's not above joking, and I completely understand jokes. But can we all agree that violating the Constitution should not be a joke? Can we all agree that we shouldn't joke about violating the United States Constitution and installing yourself as a dictator? Because that's what it would take for him to stay in office for another, quote unquote, 8 or 9 years. Not to mention the fact that more than likely he would be taking a dirt nap before that. Hell, I don't even know if he is going to make it through this term before, the Reaper comes knocking. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, right? You said he was only trolling. Oh, you think he was only trolling? Come up here and tell me. I'm going to send you an invite. Come up here and tell me how you think that's acceptable. You say he was only trolling. Come up here and tell me how you think that was acceptable. The quote unquote troll. Oh no, don't reject it. Don't reject it. Get up here. Also, the person that's on their burner account that's spamming like Trump stuff, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. I don't care about you coming here trying to spam like whatever weird shit that you're spamming. And also, I'm not going to invite you because you're on your burner. Go get your main account. Go get your main account. Also, what is it? Ford Econ, accept that request. Yeah, that is accurate. Someone said not funny or acceptable for a leader. Like, I completely agree. But can we all take a moment to realize that the reason why he continues to say shit like this is maybe it is tongue in cheek, right? I agree. I understand. I'm not, so encapsulated by Donald Trump and, being opposed to the fascism and all this other stuff to say that I don't know when someone is trying to be facetious. I'm not going to say that I don't know when someone's being tongue in cheek. The thing that I will say is the reason why he is so comfortable with saying and doing these things out in the open is because every time that he says and does shit like this, that people stand up, they applaud, and then people like the ones in the comment section run coverage and say, oh, he's just trolling you guys. No, Donald Trump is just the biggest troll. He just wants to get a reaction. That's why he's doing the things that he does. And that's why he's saying the things that he says. But then we say, well, we told you guys that in the past, when he made these quote unquote jokes, he wasn't joking. When we talked about him wanting to annex Greenland, everyone said that, oh, he was just joking. Well, he joked himself all the way to a NATO conference where they finally had to shut him down, and he threw a temper tantrum, threatened tariffs on everyone, and then finally realized that he couldn't just take Greenland. But that was a joke. But that was a joke. Everything is a joke and a troll until he actually does the crazy shit that he says he's going to do. I don't understand how anyone continues to just accept those things. I don't get it. But regardless, that's who Trump supporters completely back. Now, the point that I love to always drill home, because it's easy to point the finger at MAGA people on the right and say, hey, you're the problem. And yeah, they are the problem. They are absolutely the problem. The reason why they're the problem is because they continue to they continue to actually attack our country, the structures of our country, and they continue to try to dismantle the very fabric of what our country is supposed to stand for. Right? But that's only because moderate Democrats don't have a backbone. That's only because moderate Democrats refuse to actually stand up and fight back. That's because moderate Democrats, when shit goes left, they say, well, when we get power back at the midterms, we're going to be able to fight them. We're going to be able to hold the line when we get power back. Spoiler alert, they have no plans on giving up fucking power. They have no plans on giving up power. And if you think that I'm joking, I want to draw your attention to two things. If you think that I'm joking, I want to draw your attention to two things. Let's start here. Everybody knows what's been happening with the court rulings with Louisiana, right? So the Supreme Court ruled that the maps in Louisiana were legal, and that they could go ahead and gerrymander and disenfranchise black and brown people in Louisiana, not restricting their vote, but consolidating their vote down to one seat, right? Now, I don't know if anyone else was keeping up with this, but yesterday there was some back and forth when it came to the Supreme Court ruling. I think, and it was a little bit confusing, and I had to read through it multiple times, but stick with me. So, true respect, what's wrong with you? Oh, what do you mean? October's very own, what do you mean? What's wrong with who? I'm going to send you a request. What's wrong with who? What are you talking about? Oh, what's wrong with me?
No. True respect. There was a guy that's on here. He said that you guys don't do anything on here but ask for money sitting behind a computer. That's who I was. I told him, what's wrong with you?
Oh, my bad. Okay, friendly fire. I apologize.
Okay, you're good, man. You're good, Santana.
Right, appreciate you. True respect. Where's this ass at? Oh, there he is. You young influencers do nothing but sit behind your computer and ask for donations. First and foremost, young needs nuts. I'm 39 and you've been muted, and I sent you an invite to come up. Also, W's in the chat for Elizabeth for the $5 donation saying Blue Santana is very cool, no pun intended. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Alex for the $2 donation saying love the new blue background matching your prompt, overall theme, nice touch. Listen, I thought about it. W's in the chat for Alex. W's in the chat as well for Kimberly, who became a late night tuber over on YouTube. W's in the chat for B, who's been a YouTube member for 2 months and used their super chat to say, have you heard about the crowdfunding to buy Spirit Airlines? Just pending money now, but if it goes through, it'll be owned by the people. Interesting. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Sharon for the $19.99 super chat to say they gave that test to seniors and it's not hard. My parents pass every time. They're older than he is. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Sharon. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. I guess he's not going to come up. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, keep tapping the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart mints, only one coin. Repost the live, and it'll get more people in here. If you're ever on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It'll help push the VOD out. All right, we got someone in the request, and if this is the person that I think it is, then let's just see.
Are you gonna kick me?
Is this done like your other account? And did you just make a new account?
No, this is my same one. I just opened it up and changed the picture because, you know, we got that album coming out. Drake's got the new album coming out on the 15th.
Of course you would be a Drake fan. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Listen.
He's the best artist ever to exist in the history of music outside of Michael Jackson.
Man, that's worse than your political takes, but it's cool. Listen, I'll make you a deal. I'll let you stay. You and I can debate, but you have to promise like no crash outs because seriously, okay, like let's actually just, you know,
well, you got that LA hat on. We can talk about the rap beef was political. We can talk about that. I expect somebody that sides with the oppressed to be a Kendrick fan, to not think Drake is the best because Kendrick makes music for Kendrick grifts off the struggle of oppression. So I would expect that.
That's interesting. Okay. Give me a moment. Let's do this quick introduction and we'll get into it. And I think that, I might have a few things to say about that, but regardless, for anyone else who doesn't know who I am or what this is, I'm going to give everyone else a proper introduction. So let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this? Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin, and it will help boost the live, push us out to the FYP. We have Dun up here, and Dun, we will absolutely get into the politics of it all, but you piqued my interest with your comments as far as, you know, Drake, Kendrick, oppression, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Let's I heard your stance and I want to lay out mine just to start, and so you can understand where I'm coming from. First and foremost, the thing that I will never do is deny the accomplishments of Drake, right? He is absolutely, or is the artist with the #1 hits, the most #1 hits. He is absolutely someone who has sustained the test of time. He is absolutely someone that has made music that has crossed generations and genres, right? So there's no denying what Drake has been able to do, right?
Yeah.
But then we talk about what it actually means for Drake to be influential within the rap industry and throughout the history of rap, how it collects to politics and everything along those lines, and the way that like he actually, who he makes music for and how people consume his music and what else they consume. Question for you. How old are you, Dad?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so you're a little bit younger than me. Do you remember Nothing Was the Same?
Of course, yeah. This started with Tuscan Leather, one of the best intros ever.
Yeah. Also, do you remember God damn it, what's the name? It was this mixtape before he signed with Young Money. The one that
Comeback Season.
Was it Comeback Season?
It was Comeback Season, and then are you talking about the one with Successful? Well, that was, he had already signed with Young Money at that point. You're talking about
it's the one before he signed. So regardless, okay. So I started listening. I remember listening to Drake. And I remember playing Drake for my family, and they got upset. They was like, we don't know who this is. We don't know what this is. Turn this off. We want to hear something else. And I was like, no, listen, you gotta listen to this guy. He's dope, right? And so I absolutely was someone who I used to go buy the CDs. It was something for me where I would always buy the actual physical CDs. Even when you got to the point where you could start downloading stuff, I would buy the CDs. And then I started noticing something funny about Drake. One thing that sparked my attention about Drake was, do you remember like Rap City, The Basement?
Of course, with Big Tigger, yeah.
You remember what happened when Drake went on and he was supposed to be freestyling?
That was actually Tim Westwood, and he pulled out a black.
Tim Westwood. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
So that was the first moment I was like, because everyone was like actually, doing a bunch of freestyles, and like I said, The Basement was big, Sway was big, everyone was going through, and then Drake, someone who I was like, oh, this guy's dope, comes up, and not only is he unable to freestyle, which I couldn't freestyle, so whatever, but he was struggling just to get through anything, and I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And then it came out that Drake actually has ghostwriters.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? That's fine. A lot of people have ghostwriters, right? It's okay. He's still the person making the music. And then Drake started to do something that was super interesting. And I am someone that used to be a Lil Wayne fan as well. I don't listen to like any of his new stuff, but I definitely still listen to his old music, Dedication, No Ceilings, Drought. I listen to Carter 1, 2, 3, 4, Fuck 5. But anyway, so listening to that Drake, one of the first things Lil Wayne told Drake was, you don't have to be street. That's not you. You're not street. Don't do it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he told Lil Wayne. So the reason why, and this plays into the election of last year. So what takes me aback is you have a bunch of people who are not black singing that They Not Like Us song, right? Mm-hmm. And that same narrative of Drake's blackness being questioned actually was one of the reasons VP Harris did not do well amongst black men. There has now been a common narrative. Well, are you familiar with Michael Eric Dyson? Mm-hmm. Okay, you should go read Michael Eric Dyson's piece about how that beef and the narrative of Drake's blackness being questioned basically transferred to the election. Mm-hmm. And it is the narrative is common because
where's that quantified at?
So I'll send you it. It's all over TikTok. So remember, Michael Eric Dyson went on Bill Maher. He talked about this publicly. He wrote about it, about how questioning Drake's blackness because of he's biracial will have political consequences. He wrote this before the election. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is we get to the election, and the election, I believe, was only 7 or 8 months later after this rap beef. Mm-hmm. That same narrative of a racial background came up in regards to VP Harris. So what I find to be interesting.
Hold on, stop right there before you go too far. Tell me when Kendrick Lamar questioned Drake's blackness.
How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? Mm-hmm. And Drake's race was called into question several times. Ross calling me the white boy, and the shit kind of got a ring to it.
That's Rick Ross. I'm not talking about Rick Ross. I completely.
You get called a colonizer. Mm-hmm. You get called a colonizer. You get how many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but FUBU was never a part of your collection. Yeah. So what I'm saying is this: Drake's race for being biracial has always come up in the rap beef, right?
Yeah.
Now
absolutely.
People go ahead. Now what I'm saying is
absolutely. Let me stop for half a second and say this. There was never an instance, even with the actual quotes that you just gave, that's not Kendrick Lamar questioning Drake's blackness. That's Kendrick Lamar saying you are black and you don't have to do extra stuff to feel like you're black, right? It was never a sense of saying you aren't black. It's saying you are black and you don't have to go through these extreme lengths to prove that you're black, right? when you talk about the actual premise of being a colonizer, well, that was connected to WAP. Do you know what WAP was like for?
You talking about the song WAP?
Oh, I'm sorry. When he said WAP, he said WAP, 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 and they not like us.
Yeah. He's talking about you ran to America because you need a check balance. Basically, you're Canadian. You ran to Atlanta to get with these artists. But one question, my response to that.
Do you know what WAP stands for? WOP, WAP.
No.
Without papers, right? That was something that was perpetuated. And I hate to say this, but it was perpetuated on Italian people when they first started immigrating to the United States of America. They used to check their immigration status, and they would say they're WAP without papers, meaning that they were actually here undocumented. And basically, he was calling Drake out for colonizing in the sense of being Canadian and then stealing the music that originates from not only the United States, but from Black culture and from all across the spectrum of Black culture, right? And because Drake doesn't only do like, you know, American based stuff. We know he loves his Caribbean style or whatever. So the premise wasn't like calling him a colonizer in a sense of saying, oh, he's a white person and da 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 da. It's literally him stealing people music and music styles, which is another part of the story. And that completely ties into reality, but that's not him questioning Drake's blackness. Again, I highlight the fact that he tells him, like, when he says, how many Black features until you feel like you're Black enough?
Black enough. Yeah.
Like he's acknowledging that you're Black. You don't have to do these different things to feel Black enough. You're Black.
Did you hear Meet the Grams? Did you hear Meet the Grams? Did you also hear what's that 616 in LA where he called him a white sun seeker at the marina? Like there's a bunch of lines in there. What I find to be interesting is I get his argument, right? He's saying you're Canadian, right? You are going down into Atlanta and colonizing Atlanta. But what I don't understand is the last time I checked, Black people ran to Canada before Canadians ran to Atlanta. That's fair. Because so Black people, it's funny to me how Black people, you're dissing Canada when during the Underground Railroad, where were you trying to go? So, I mean, who was really running to who?
Well, it's funny that you're saying that because there's a multitude of like, you're conflating and combining those things, and which I do understand why you would, but it's him calling out different sectors of issues. He's not saying that, oh, you're Black from Canada. He's saying you're Black. And then he's saying the culture of America, which Black people are the backbone and the actual culture of America. He's trying to colonize said culture being Canadian. Those are two separate things and two separate discs at the same time. But I want to revert this back to what you were saying as far as like, you know, the political aspect.
Oh, yeah.
And you're saying that I hear what you're saying is like, oh, it's on TikTok or whatever. This is the first time I'm hearing anyone saying that, well, the rap beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake is what perpetuated those Black men that voted for Donald Trump to vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. Help me with that one.
Well, what I'm saying is the narrative is that the Black community has a very duplicitous relationship with people who are biracial, right? Yeah, so we know that it's kind of a Tom and Jerry thing, right? Where a lot of the leaders earlier were biracial, and maybe that there's been some hostility historically towards that. Now there's starting to be delineation between biracials and Black and people who are fully Black. And so when VP Harris came on the scene, you didn't see this with Obama, right? Like when Obama came in, no one was questioning his background. That's because we lived in a different time back then than we do. No, like people were saying that this was a Black president, right?
No, it was the birther movement. Come on now, you remember.
Well, no. I'm talking about were Black people questioning his Blackness.
Okay. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is now when you're biracial, now in 2024, 2025, 2026, that narrative is open now. That narrative of, well, if you're mixed or if you're half white, half Black, you're not mixed. Well, biracial. Yeah. If you're mixed or something like that, then you're not fully Black. And what I'm telling you is that narrative. Well, there's a bunch of people that say it.
Who? Put a name on them. What do they call themselves?
What do you mean?
What do they call themselves?
I don't know. It could be Hebrew Israelites. Could be There's all type of people.
They're the new iteration of the quote unquote Black Israelites, but no, it's FBA. it's FBA. It's literally FBA. That. It's literally
one
FBA
of the leaders
who overwhelmingly.
Yvette Cornell is biracial. So I don't disagree with that point. There are people in that movement that are biracial.
I'm telling you, the perpetuation of like Kamala Harris and calling out her blackness, and even now they're calling out the blackness of Barack Obama, has been they've been overwhelmingly loud about the fact that they're quote unquote tethers, right? And so you see people like what's the guy Tariq, whatever the fuck his name is. You see people like him openly like questioning that. But if you listen to FBA, they're very adamant about, you know, people that are not connected in a sense of like being from America, whose their ancestors trace back to slavery and blah, 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 blah. And so they're the ones that have overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump, and they still support Donald Trump in the Republican Party right now. The funny thing is, do you know why they support him?
Because he's going to take a stance against people from foreign countries, I guess. No, well, why? But I disagree with your points on FBA.
Well, they think that they're going to get reparations. Their whole point is that that Black Americans are deserving of reparations. And the idea that anyone who ancestry doesn't link back to slavery here within the United States of America, they're not owed any type of reparations. And so there's been a massive push to make sure that there's a complete separation, and calling the people who aren't, you know, connected in that way, people like Kamala Harris, who is biracial or who has a history or has, you know, biracial people through their family or whatever, they call them tethers. But that's their whole premise as far as they think they're going to get reparations.
But I don't have any issue with people advocating for reparations for slavery at all. Yeah, and I could see their argument, but they don't have any type of plans.
They don't have plans. They don't have a structure. And even the one like premise as far as having any type of traction with reparations, the actual I think it was Kenyan or Nigerian, one of the world leaders came to the UN and then had chattel slavery declared as the greatest atrocity in the history of the world, and is demanding reparations. But they fought him on him because he's not Black American.
But wouldn't delineation be the beginning of a plan? If you could delineate, so for example, delineation sounds like a plan to me, especially in the beginning, because if you could separate who actually came from slavery and who didn't, I think that's the beginning of a plan, because respectfully, all these other groups of people that come here that are Black or dark or melanated, whatever you want to call them, they certainly do delineate for themselves. So why is it an issue when people who have heritage of people that were slaves do the exact same thing?
Yeah, it's not an issue of like not being able to identify directly your lineage or anything like that, but the separation of Black people, it's exactly what you were just highlighting, right? It questions people Blackness to the extent of saying, well, if you're not someone that can trace your ancestry back to the exact time of slavery, then you're not one of us. You know, you can be someone who their family is 5, 6, 7 generations or whatever, but if you don't track all the way back to you know, being here during this time, then you wouldn't fall in that category. The interesting part about that is, you know, white supremacy doesn't give a fuck if you're Black and you're Black American, or if you're Nigerian, or if you're Ethiopian, or if you're Canadian. You know, white supremacy looks at all Black people the same, and that's the issue.
I would disagree with that, because okay, so for example, if we look at a period like 1860, right?
Let's look at
Black
today.
people. No, hold up, because you want to know what's the white supremacy definitely discriminates, because while white people were over here banning Black people from reading, white people were in Africa building African schools, roads, bridges, things like that through colonization. Yeah. So it's not the same thing. Black people in America. Wait, hold
on. Are you saying that colonization was a good thing?
I'm saying that that certain nations did benefit from colonization. Absolutely. Like in Nigeria.
How the fuck is colonization a good thing?
So
stealing people's land and enslaving people or disenfranchising people on their own land is a good thing.
So you're gonna let me finish? I can explain my point.
Yeah.
When you can go through every country in Western Africa and look up who built their first road, who built their first school, who built their first hospital, right? It was all Europeans.
That's not
but
true.
Yet you come,
That's
but
not
when
true.
you come over,
that's not true.
Okay, how are you going to sit up here?
True.
How are you going to equate the two? How are you going to equate black people in America? It was against the law for them to read, but
Sure,
yet white people, Europeans were building schools for them, for Nigerians in Western Africa.
Sure,
they built these people's countries while they were not giving black people in America the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Sure. When you talk about the actual schools, and you could talk about you're talking about the actual in Nigeria, you're referring to
I'm telling you, bro, like Sacred Heart
that was connected to an infant church, right? It was established by Bulgaria, right?
Okay.
It's a Methodist church. Yeah. So when you talk about the organized religion, the Christianity religion, and the actual claims that the first schools were established in, Western Africa or even like Nigeria in 1843, that's the first establishment of Westernized civilization in 1893. There were a multitude of buildings, structures, hospital systems, like just because they had just because it looked different versus what Western society decided that it was going to be does not mean that they're the ones that first established it. But they had a history of, because they didn't pray. I mean, they weren't Christian. They had different religions, and so they had different ways of practicing their religion, just like they had different ways of actually teaching and going through medicine. Like that's not a thing.
So you tell them. So let's establish the first point. Mm-hmm. So you will yield the point that in 1840, when black people were banned from reading, that white people were building these people in Africa schools.
No.
You just said they were building them schools.
You lost me at the last point when you said they were building them schools.
Yes,
no, they were colonizing and building schools, but it wasn't specifically for them. It was for the colonizers to benefit off of them.
Okay. However you want to slice it, it was illegal for black people in the United States to read, while these people white supremacy definitely discriminates. So the black case in America is rare. You cannot compare a group of people who literally went through a process of social Darwinism versus another group of people who white people were building them roads, bridges, establishing a court system, and all the stuff that they still use here today.
Stop for 2 seconds, right? The point that I'm making is that both are instances of white supremacy, because when you talk about what was happening in the Americas, it was illegal for them to read because of chattel slavery and the way that they decided to engage with black people there, because this was a country that they, stole from indigenous people and started to build here. And so they could create a new structure and new society. But when you talk about the actual structure and society that was already in Africa, they didn't steal everything from those people. And so they had to go about white supremacy in a different way, i.e. trying to indoctrinate them through colonization. That's why I said when they built these schools and built these roads, it wasn't for the premise of like, oh, we just love you guys and we want to do good things for you. It was through indoctrination, which then allowed them to continue to split up the continent of Africa and exploit the resources. Like that's the entire point. If you take a look at the God damn it, why am I spacing on the name? God damn it, it was the conference that was held where countries.
You're talking about the scramble for Africa, the scramble in 1913.
Yeah, like the whole thing is, it wasn't about being able to help them or anything like that. It was literally about the exploitation of the resources and the people in Africa.
Yeah, but it did help them, because if you look up Are you somebody that's gonna make me believe that Western Africa was this great place before white colonists got there? Are you telling me that they had a civilization, they had a justice system, they had a court system? Really, what was their constitution? What was their bylaws?
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not someone that subscribes to the fact that everyone has to have the same type of structure for a civilization. I do acknowledge civilizations. I'm not saying that they had one that we would deem to be the same as like our current civilization, but I'm not going to deny the civilization of people that lived in that area at that time, whether it was through like the open land, whether it's through like, you know, bargaining with trades and not a form of currency. Like, there's so many different forms of civilization.
Yeah, what was their currency?
There was probably a bartering system. I don't know right off of hand. I'm not saying that they had those things, but what I'm saying is there's not a specific thing that says, well, the only thing that makes a civilization is if they have a constitution or if they have a justice system or whatever. Like, come on now.
How about individual rights? Were women equal to men in that society?
There's societies that where people don't have individual rights. Now, hell, women don't have individual rights in our society.
Okay.
Like,
but
so are we not a civilization?
No. The thing is that I'm using Africa was this great place before white Westerners got there. So tell me about life.
Saying that, and I'm not saying, I'm not making this proclamation that Africa was this great place before Westerners got in there. I'm saying that there was a civilization. No, that's what you think. That's what you think.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It's still not.
No. That's what you think. And the point that I'm making is just like on Turtle Island, before the colonizers came here and killed so many indigenous people.
It was a great place.
Of the earth. The indigenous people there would have said that.
Yeah, but they were wrong.
No. That's your fifis. That's literally your fifis. You can't tell someone that the society that they've constructed, that they've lived under, that they feel like they're thriving under is not something that's great for them.
All societies in the world are good then?
No.
Based on that argument?
No, all societies that actually would sustain themselves are just within their own reasoning. I'm not saying that a society is good nor bad. I'm saying that society finds justification, and if they can establish society and sustain society within their own means, then at the time it's just. That's the point that I'm making. I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying they had
so North Korea society. Is just
their society, the structure of their society. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So North Korea is just. Yeah.
Am I saying that North Korea's actions are just? No. But them being able to establish their own society and sustain their own society, yes.
Okay. All right. Got you. The thing is this, based upon that argument. So first, I'm going back to your point before previously. It wasn't peace and love before white Europeans got there.
I didn't say. Why do you keep saying that? I'm saying that there was like this. It was utopia. I didn't say that.
It was. There were witch doctors in Africa, right? Okay. That's just a fact, right? So these people.
What's the issue with witch doctors?
Well, it's a very bad form of medicine.
Okay.
It's a very bad form of medicine. And these are the benefits of colonization.
When you say witch doctors are a bad form of form of medicine, what about spiritual healers that is widely accepted throughout Christianity today? People laying hands on people.
Well, that's prayer to a real God.
It says who? How do you know God is real?
Because Christianity dominates the world. That's how.
No. See, and that's the same mindset that you're using in this instance. Your justification is might makes right, which goes to the whole point that men don't understand consent. Your entire point. You're saying this dominates.
That's not my justification, Santana.
So help me understand the fact that
my
Christianity
justification is
also
strong.
Christianity doesn't dominate the entire world.
It does. Let me just say
no. Hold on. The number one religion in the world is Muslims, right?
No, you may want to look that up again.
Let me double check.
What I'm telling you is that first point I'm making is there are benefits in colonization, such as like the absorption of new technologies, basically building different educational systems and things like that, and strong, stable countries don't get colonized. If countries are strong, stable, and just, they don't get colonized.
That's not true. That's not true.
Why not? Well, then prove me wrong.
Well, hold on. Let me just correct myself. Yeah, you're right. Christianity is number one, and Islam is number two, right behind it. So we're looking at 2.3 billion with Christianity and 2 billion with Islam. So close. But the point that you're making as far as like strong countries don't get colonized, it's not about,
They don't.
well, it's not about strong countries not getting colonized, because you're thinking about colonization if it were to exist today. I mean, but if you take a look at colonization when it actually occurred, you know, throughout the history of the world, colonization was not done in a sense of just like, oh, we're strong and we're going to take over. What happened here in the Americas when colonization occurred?
Or you want me to go from like the 1600s or the first settlers, or do you want me to do Manifest Destiny? What are we doing? A bunch of white people from Europe showed up and made the best country in the world. That's the. How do they colonize indigenous people here? Several different ways. They poisoned them. They also had wars against them, and sometimes many times the indigenous people absorbed the culture.
Okay. No.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. So this is a little bit unfair to you. I will openly admit that I kind of set you up on this one. And the only reason I say that is because I just made a video and I posted this video on my page using this actual information, because there's a creator who's like, oh, it's not my fault that my ancestors were good fighters and da 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 da. Right. And it's not about them being good fighters. And it wasn't even about, a lot of people think that, oh, the main way that the colonizers were able to actually take Turtle Island from indigenous people was because they had guns, and, you know, indigenous people had bow and arrows, right? Which is partially true. But that's not the reason. So I'm going to pop this on the screen. Boop, boop.
Do you feel bad for those people?
So when the colonizers originally showed up, there were about 54 to 61 million indigenous people that were already there. And with them actually coming into the country, they were able to kill 75 to 95% of the indigenous population. But with killing that population, they brought a multitude of different diseases into the actual environment. They had guns. Yes, they did actually use guns. But one, indigenous people believed that, or they tried to treat them as, you know, friends, right? Which was a thing that they did while welcoming them in, because the colonizers were on death's door. But they literally enacted biowarfare because they were just flat out disgusting with a multitude of different diseases. And that was a thing that had persisted back to Europe, right? Let's not forget, the reason why men used to wear high heels in Europe is because there used to be so much shit on the ground that they didn't want to just be standing in shit on the streets. That's literally the reason why men in Europe used to wear high heels. So the point being that, you know, these people came in and they were just strong and they were able to take over because they were dominating force. No, they were just nasty. They were nasty as fuck. And the disease was something that had not been experienced on Turtle Island.
I don't get what you're saying. Number one, what's funny about this is how many black people or slaves died from these diseases?
A lot.
How many white people died from those diseases?
I'm not exactly sure, but
you don't know how many white people died from measles and smallpox?
Yeah, it was less than the people that were never exposed to it before, who were immunocompromised because they had no prior buildup of immunity through that. Now, what I will grant you is that those diseases that were more prevalent prior to, you know, vaccinations and all this other stuff, it was a lot tougher, right? People could lose their lives catching the flu. But the point that I am making is there's a huge difference between having a disease or a virus or something that's been prevalent within the society, and at the very least there's some standard of treatment and some standard of immunity buildup, versus introducing a brand new disease or virus into any system and then it devastating the people that have never been exposed to it.
But what I'm saying is this, right? Resistance to disease is genetic. It doesn't matter if it's
source.
White. Let me finish.
No,
you're not letting me finish.
No, stop. Source. Give me a source that says resistance to disease.
Go look it up.
No, tell me exactly where. Give me the source.
You just said you just said it.
No,
You just
no,
said
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You just said white people were more resistant to these things because it was native to their land.
No. That's not what I said. I said,
what did you say?
They had more of a resistance because it was prevalent where they were. So there was some form of treatment, and also there was a bit of a herd
tolerance?
Immunity. Yeah, but
okay,
that's
exactly.
wait. It's not genetic. Do you think that why are we seeing like an actual huge comeback in the United States of America for like measles?
Because we're getting immigrants in here?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
What are you going to say?
It's because we've vaccinated that the measles to the point of almost being completely wiped out. And it's been so prevalent throughout generations that people no longer have to deal with it. And so now people are going unvaccinated, not taking the measles vaccination, and they're being exposed to people that do contract measles from traveling, and they don't have any type of immunity or any type of vaccination to protect them from them. If it was genetic, then since their ancestors didn't have measles and they had the measles vaccination and it would have been passed down through generations, then it wouldn't matter whether or not we were exposed to people or not. So again, if you're going to say that like any type of being able to catch diseases or whatever is something like there's genetic, I need a source.
Okay. The thing is this, right? You are saying that the white European colonists basically annihilated people through disease, right? They annihilated the natives and all these things. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just FYI. I'm not saying that that's what the historians and scientists are saying right here.
But I don't get your point because you benefit from that.
What does that have to do with what happened?
From that. What happened is the reason why you are where you are.
No, do you remember why I brought this up?
Because you're going from topic to topic. We're going back from why Europeans controlled the world.
No,
that's why
you said that colonization was all about strength and people who were colonizers because their country was weak. That's what you said, and I said that's not true. Why not?
You're saying that it was because of disease.
I'm saying you have this is right here. Look at this example right here. This.
Okay. So how did but it doesn't tell the full story. The full story is that white people came over here and dominated. They dominate now. They dominated in Latin America.
75 to 95% of the current population through disease.
Okay.
Of course.
Is that not domination?
They killed 75 to 95%.
Is that not domination?
No.
That's not a win?
No. So are you telling me? So are you telling me that they just showed up and they were just better, and so the people just acquiesced to them and said, you know what, you got it?
They're not resisting now. I mean, yeah,
they
the
people 75 to 95% of the population. They killed so many indigenous people that it cooled the temperature of the earth. It literally cooled the temperature of the earth. No, it's fucking genocide. It's genocide. So you're saying genocide is a win?
What I'm saying is that we benefit from this today.
I'm not talking about today's society. Wait, bro, I'm not pushing back on. I'm not pushing back on today's society.
You want to go back to living in teepees? No, you want to go back to living in teepees and eating buffalo?
Sure, I would love some buffalo. Okay. That's not the point.
Okay,
I need you. I need you to stop.
Give your house away right now. Give your house away right now.
I need you to stop because now you're being disingenuous. Because we're not talking about today's society. We're talking about the point of colonization. You're advocating for colonization. And I'm telling you, colonization was overwhelmingly negatively impacting for anyone that was not a white supremacist. And you can talk about how our society.
That is not true. Colonization made Africa a better place than it was previously.
Colonization stripped Africa of its natural resources. It stripped people of their land, and it continued to disenfranchise the entire continent, where you see things today like the Congo, who is under siege, and their cobalt mines are completely being rampant. And you see like travesties like in Eritrea.
You don't have a problem with that. You're using cobalt right now on your iPhone. You don't have a problem with that. All you're just doing You're just doing gestures here. You don't have a problem with colonization or any of that stuff because you use the stuff that it created every day. If you had an issue with this, you would go live in Botswana, you would give up your iPhone, and you would go live with the natives. You would go live a native life.
Question for you. Do you like clean air and clean water?
Sometime, yeah.
Oh,
unless I go to New York.
Tell me about the times that you don't like clean air and clean water.
Anytime I'm having a good time in New York or LA.
You know what? I'm just gonna hold here. I'm gonna say thank you to a couple of people, and I was gonna say like, but Jeff wants to talk to you, so I'm gonna let Jeff talk to you because this shit is getting crazy. W's in the chat for Dev for the $20 super chat to say, guess is a racist, ignorant buffoon. Wait, Dun, you're black, right?
No, I'm American.
Yeah, this dipshit is black. He can't be racist. He's just stupid. Why did he say the colonizer? Wait, why did the colonizer steal traditional artifacts from places of the ancient Ben Kingdom and refuse to return them? Who is the father of medicine from ancient Egypt? Exactly. Like fucking exactly. W's in the chat for the super chat. W's in the chat for Roxy for the $10 donation saying, now if I may wear my tinfoil hat, remember when Bannon said that there was a loophole to the 22nd at the judicial hearing? Hey, fucking W's in the chat for Philip. Let's fucking go with the TikTok universe. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Philip. Let's fucking go. Keep a million W's going. The judiciary hearing, all nominees refused to say Trump was elected, and he kept specifying certified. I wonder if they're going to try to say Trump wasn't elected so he could run again. Yeah, they're really pushing for like these loopholes. W's in chat for Miss Torres for the $1 donation. Drake will forever be Jimmy from Degrassi. He can never be anything else in my head. I know that's right. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse for the $10 donation saying, cousin, this caller is FBA. I don't think he realized he identifies as them. He's playing stupid for clout and views. He is not on your panel and to have a genuine conversation. I don't know. I've talked to Dun a few times, and I feel like if he was
a good combo.
I was about to say if he was FBA, I think he would have. I would have already known. So I'm gonna push back on that one. W's in the chat for Kathleen for the $5 donation saying good news. Thank you. W's in the chat for Dragon Lover for the $5 donation saying get him the fuck out of here. He's disingenuous. It's been interesting. W's in the chat for Jocelyn for the $1 donation saying what's wrong with this guy? You know what? The funny thing is his opinion is an opinion that is shared by a lot of people on the right. W's in the chat for Angel for the $5 donation saying the Brits bulldozed roads and bridges on Turtle Island and still killed the natives. That's absolutely true. Also, another $5 donation saying Spaniards also needed a lot of help from other tribes to go against the Aztecs.
They did.
Facts.
They did. Yeah, they did.
W's in
Shout
chat
out
for
to Cortez.
W's in chat for I'm just gonna call you Eli. Eli sent a $2 donation saying Dun is the tree that voted for the axe because he thinks that it's great to have turn other trees into pencils. Holy shit. W's in the chat for the Rocky Punch. I know that's right. Last few. W's in chat for Joy for the $5 donation saying, is he doing it in real time where white people did the justification of slavery? Shows black people are less than human and whatever you can do. I mean, human and you can do whatever you want with no remorse. Facts. W's in chat for J-Hops. W's in chat for J-Hops. And also she said another 5 said I thought he was white. My bad. Listen, I understand why you would think that. I fucking get it. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Tip for the $5 donation saying white people learned irrigation and agriculture from American natives before destroying them and learned about bathing and running water from Africa before colonizing them. Medicine from Muslims. White people didn't do shit but steal. Facts. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out, guys. 1.5 thousand people hanging out on TikTok. Look up at the top corner. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit the follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up that help push out the VOD. All right, done. I'm going to pass you off to Jeff and let Jeff try to somehow salvage this conversation because it was getting wild.
It was all right. I thought it was pretty cool, though. What's going on, bro?
So you think white people are better?
At some things, yes.
Like what?
At warfare, at medicine, at inventing technology, like current technologies, like automobiles, airplanes. It's a lot of different things. I think different groups of people are good at different things. So yeah, I think white people.
What are immigrants good at?
What type of immigrants? Where are they coming from?
Let's say from South America.
They're good at being they're good at being short. I can tell you that. They're good at being short. They're good at getting BBLs.
Come on now. Done. Stop
it.
That's short, cool. That's cool. I got you.
I'll say they're good at being now what part of
are they good at dominating in society?
Well, I would say that South America has white people too. Like all Latin countries.
I'm just going to ask about black and brown people. Are they good at dominating in society?
Well, those are two completely different groups of people, though.
Yeah, those.
Can you give me a country?
Any of the countries in South America that have black and brown people.
But they all have black and brown people, though.
Word. So then we can just parse those out.
Yeah, but white people are all at the top. Colombia, white people run Colombia.
Let's move
Brazil, white people run Brazil.
I don't know why it is that you're focusing on what I'm not talking about.
No, you're saying South America. That's broad. Can you give me a specific country?
Wait, hold on.
I didn't say South America.
Let's have the conversation with Jeff the same way you're having with me. Like, let's not talk over each other because I think this is worth having.
But he did say South America, though.
All right, but let him speak.
I literally said black and brown people, and you're focusing on white people.
We talked about white people run South America.
But I'm not talking about white people.
Okay,
I'm talking about black and brown people.
Focus on the bottom. I got you.
I don't look. I'm focusing on black and brown people. And
so you're focusing on the bottom of South America.
I'm just asking a direct question.
Yeah, they don't run anything in South America.
I'm just going to ask the direct question. You can run from the question. It's okay.
I'm not running at all. You're not giving me a country. I go to South America all the time.
What is the question that I asked you?
Where do you like to go to in South America? I go to South America all the time.
I'm just going to let's just
one second, Joe.
What is the
one second, Joe. One second. Done. I haven't muted you this entire time, like at all. You and I have been able to talk this entire time. Come on, bring it down so you guys can actually talk. People want to hear the conversation, not hear you guys talk over each other. Like, just be genuine.
I would like to speak just really quickly, and I'll let him finish.
But let Jeff finish first.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what I want you to do.
And I'm not gonna speak how you want me to.
Now you're speaking over me directly immediately. Here's what I want you to do. Repeat the question that I'm asking you and how you think you answered it.
White people run all South American countries. In Latin America, white people run all those countries. The Mexican president is white. The president of Brazil is white. The president of Colombia is white. They have a black vice president, I think, who's black. But most of the people who run things in Latin America are white people.
Do you think that's the question I asked you?
You asked me about black and brown people.
Okay. What question did I ask you? And how do you think you answered it?
You're asking me about what do I think about people from South America and what they're good at? You asked me, do I think they're good at dominating? I think the white people in those countries are great at dominating because
I'm just going to ask my question again. You keep going back to white people. I'm not asking you shit about white people.
Well, we're talking about South Americans. There's white South Americans.
We're not talking about South Americans. And stop interrupting. I'm asking you, are black and brown people good at dominating? That's just a yes or a no.
In certain aspects, yes.
Okay, in which aspects?
So brown people are great at dominating sports that require no athleticism, right? So like soccer, that's why they play soccer, because they can't play football or basketball because they don't grow that tall.
That's not true.
Black.
Okay.
Really? Well, can you name me a Mexican that dunked from the free throw line?
Look, I'm just going to work with what you give me. Are black and brown people good at dominating?
What is black and brown? Those are two different people.
They are, and I'm putting them together. So now
why?
Because that's how the question is formed.
Okay, look, now you're smuggling in questions now.
No, I'm not smuggling in anything. If I was to say, are people named Jeff and people named Santana good at debating? You would say, well, those are two groups of people. I'm going to put them together, and it's either a yes or a no.
Well, I think Santana's good at debating because he's black.
Yeah, but look.
But you're not black.
I am black, but the question...
Oh, I thought you were brown.
Look,
You got a New York accent.
I'm
Most of
dead
y'all
ass
from
black.
somewhere else. Okay.
I don't give a fuck about none of this.
Where were your grandparents born?
I don't give a fuck about
I didn't
none
think
of
so.
this.
He's one of those tethers you were talking about
I don't
earlier.
give a listen. What you are doing right now is running full sprint, Forrest Gump style, across a football field away from my question.
Like you ran from your relatives and your country?
I don't run from anything.
Okay.
The question that you're not answering is,
Don't
are black and brown people good at dominating in society? Yes or no?
In certain aspects, yes.
In society. So not sports, society.
That's a loaded, no.
No. Okay, good. So why are you afraid of immigrants coming here?
Oh, I'm not afraid of immigrants at all.
Why do you not want immigrants to come here?
Well, first off, because I'm somewhat of a eugenicist. I only want, I don't want short people from these brown countries here. Okay. We don't need any more short people here. Mm-hmm. I would prefer us to have, so for example, with Hispanics, right? I want more Dominicans and Puerto Ricans here. I don't want Mexicans and the short, stubby people here, right?
Just
because they look better. They're better looking people. Look, hold on a second. You asking me a question. I'm asking.
You're not answering.
They're better looking people. We don't want any more ugly people here.
You're actually missing the entire point of my question.
Go ahead.
If the people you're talking about are not good at dominating in society, then you have nothing to prefer. People can come here and the cream will rise to the top, right?
No, because those people, the cream is, you live in New York, right? We can see how.
I don't live in New York.
Okay. We can see, you've lived there before, right?
I was born there.
Okay. Yeah. And you had to leave because there were so many short people there, right?
I left.
So many of these.
Wait.
Time out.
Wait.
Time out. So FYI, I did put a poll up, and over on TikTok, the answer to the poll was yes. Over on YouTube at 90%, the answer to the poll was yes. And so what happens now is done. The chat has officially made a decision to put a bounty on you, which is fine.
Oh God.
Because what happens at this point is you have the ability to stay. The only thing that you have to do, and they know how I do this. This is based off of this point moving forward, right? It's not based off anything that you said before. It's based off of the conversation right now, moving forward. Now, the one thing that I will say is that you said some crazy shit up here. Some crazy shit. And normally I don't do this, but they were demanding a permaban.
Why?
Because you said some crazy. You said you were a eugenicist.
Yeah,
eugenicist. What's wrong?
Cool. I'm just letting you know. So you officially have a bounty, and the only thing that you have to do, it's fine. The only thing that you have to do moving forward, just don't say the crazy shit, right? I mean, have the conversation, but maybe keep all the super crazy shit to yourself and have the conversation. Because it's up to the chat now. Chat, you guys know how we do it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Santana speaks for you. It has to go through the pay link. Sorry, YouTube. And we're basing this off of the conversation moving forward. All right?
Okay.
Perfect. Floor is yours.
So the thing is this.
5 minutes.
All right. So the thing is this. I don't have a problem. Now, you said black and brown people, right? I do think black people should get their just due.
I want to address something you said. Did you say I moved away from New York to get away from short people?
No, I meant to say you moved away from New York to get away from dirty people.
No. What?
New York is dirty.
New York is not
There's rats and roaches in New York.
There's rats and roaches everywhere. There's
not like New York.
There's rats and roaches in Alabama. Look, if you can produce a source. To the same
level of New York City?
If you can produce a source that says that per capita, New York City has more rats and roaches than anywhere else, I'd love to see that. I don't think you have that, though. I think you're just
I think the reason why you left New York City, right, is because you got tired of looking at a fire escape outside of your window. You wanted to see trees and grass.
I lived in a house.
Right?
I had trees and grass.
Okay, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Look, I'm going to tell you, since you're so
obsessed, you wanted to drive a car and not have to take the train everywhere.
Done. Let me tell you something. I have a PhD in Jeff. You've not even applied for the school. You haven't been accepted.
Did you buy that at the bodega in New York?
Hey.
With the chopped cheese?
Hey. You could just ask me.
Did they make that the Aki way?
Done. It's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You could just ask me why I left New York.
Okay. I'm just going to go based on speculation, right?
So speculation is going to make you, marshmallow brain. It's going to make you look stupid, okay?
Well, you're overweight, so I wouldn't be calling anybody
You're a chubby
marshmallow.
chaser. That's chubby chaser.
I wouldn't be calling anybody marshmallow.
Okay,
You built like E-Honda.
Again,
like E-Honda from Street Fighter.
Wait, again, guys, please. I'm getting overstimulated. I'm not on my medication because like they're out, and so like I easily get overstimulated. Let's like bring it down just a little bit. Look,
this is very simple, Dun. I left New York chasing a woman. That's how I left New York. I chased the woman that I'm now married to. It's a love story. Okay? Has nothing to do with any rats or roaches.
He got fucking removed. No, he didn't run. TikTok kicked him. He did not run. TikTok just completely kicked him.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I said this yesterday about somebody who was doing the exact same thing about the Bible. They don't really believe the stuff they're saying. They just are tired of saying it in the mirror to make themselves feel good.
Jeff, would you like to know how this conversation got started?
Sure.
He said that Kendrick Lamar dissing Drake is the reason why Kamala Harris lost the election. That's how this started. He said, of course you would be a Kendrick Lamar fan because Kendrick Lamar makes music for suffrage and suffering people with suffering mindsets.
Did he say for suffrage?
Mm-hmm.
He knows that suffrage has nothing to do with suffering, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he knows that or not, but that's literally what he said. And then he turned around and said, well, it's because black men that voted for Donald Trump, they're tired of people questioning Drake's blackness.
So he just saying stuff.
Spamming all the words that he knew, Jeff. Fucking spamming all the words.
I've noticed there's a trend. You know them buttons they put in front of dogs when they want to, so they can say, I love you, mom, and all that? Mm-hmm. He's just pressing one of those soundboard joints.
That was fucking crazy. I'm shocked that like TikTok got him up out the paint. And like it's funny thing is when I established the kick, because I put the poll out and I was like, well, I'll let the chat make the decision whether we kick him or not. And then J-Hops is in the comment. J-Hops like, can we do a permaban? And I was like, no, we don't need to permaban him. And then he said he believes in eugenics. Jeff, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, this is the stuff he says to himself in the mirror. He doesn't even know that what that means. When it comes to like the intelligence, he would be a victim of that, of the eugenics that he supports, because he doesn't know anything.
Fucking wicked and wild work. Wicked and wild work. I'm gonna add up where we are really quickly with these donations, and we're gonna count this towards the permaban anyway. Let's see where we are. 1 second.
Can I do a quick shameless plug while you do
it? You got it.
So if y'all want to learn about the art of verbal combat, which is basically rhetoric, just go to endofaspecies.com. Right at the top there, you're going to see a bundle for the art of verbal combat. 9 PDFs. You read through them. You'll get the introduction to rhetoric, and you'll see how it is that people like Santana and myself break stuff down and do what we do. If you haven't gotten it, it's still available. The Intro to Logic, the Field Guide. But Verbal Combat, the Field Guide is what I'm pushing today. It is a lesson in rhetoric. So yeah, go to endofaspecies.com and get you that today.
All right. Let's see, guys, we came up close enough, and close enough is good enough for me. Looking at all the donos, in which I'm going to thank people here in just a moment. We ended up at like 244 of 250. That's good enough for me. So even if he comes back, he's going to go ahead and have to wear that permaband. He's going to have to wear that permaband, chat. Ain't no fucking way. That was fucking wild. He's going to have to hold that permaband. So we'll get him added to the list regardless. That's close enough. W's in the chat for all the donos. FYI, if you are in the request right now, please, guys, remember, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It is only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Jeff, I appreciate you coming up.
You know what it is. I'll catch you later.
All right, bro.
Oh, by the way, you know what I'm talking about when I say this? Send more.
Oh,
Send
yeah.
more.
Yeah. I sent something last night. You know I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right,
bro.
peace.
Let's see here. Hi, Alicia. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Hi, Alicia.
No idea how that just connected.
All right, no worries. I'll drop you down. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, Morgan. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I'm not. I do not know how I added myself up here. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I'll drop you down. Second here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh, hey, sorry, I don't know how I got up here. Sorry about that, Santana. Love your show, though, man. I love it.
Thank you, guys. W's in the chat for all the people who are accidentally coming up, I guess. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Request check, yeah. FYI, guys, if you take a look at the bottom of your screen and you see that the pink and blue person, you're good. If you see the pink and blue person, you're perfectly fine. That means you're just chilling, listening, hanging out. But if you see the gray person, that means that you are in the request and you are here for a debate. If you see the gray person, that means you're in the request, you're here for a debate. And the topic at hand is the fact that we've caught people lacking. And when I say we've caught people lacking, it's a multitude of groups. First and foremost, Republicans. Republicans lack a mind. They're mindless, moralless sheep. They don't have morals while claiming to be Christians. They say shit like, I'm somewhat of a eugenicist. Republicans absolutely lack morals or any type of coherent thoughts. Moderate Democrats, they lack an actual backbone. They're literally the ones that are allowing our country to be destroyed. Period. I don't think I need to add more to that. Men lack an understanding of consent. And FYI, man, I'm not just talking about consent when it comes to women and your engagement with women. I'm just talking period. You have no idea what consent is. And it shows through your political views. Leftists, the leftists that do actually participate in the political system, you guys have a lack of understanding as far as political direction. You guys say things like, well, I don't like this candidate because of X, Y, or Z, so I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. How the fuck does that make sense? Or you say shit like, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because I know he's going to destroy the country. And we need to destroy this system while not having an actual plan of what comes next. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about. And last but not least, global MAGA, international MAGA, Maple MAGA, those people that don't even go here, but for some reason, they are infatuated with the fascists in the White House. Those people, they have a lack of understanding of what's really happening in our country, because for some reason, you have this in your head that it's a good idea to cheer on the fascist that's across the pond while he's actively destroying not only this country, but your country as well. Period. So if you disagree with anything on the background, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, or even Kick and you want to debate, all you gotta do is click that request button. There is a pinned message, and all you gotta do is click that link. It'll get you up here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Oh, I guess not. I guess not. I guess not. Have I scared everyone away? I feel like I might have scared everyone away. Have I officially terrified everyone? I guess I have. Damn it, they won't even load in. It won't even load in. Well, I guess as we wait to see if anyone has the testicular fortitude, I will say this. I want to pick back up where I was saying, because a lot of people might not have seen this, right? But this is super important. So we were talking about what was happening with Louisiana, and people know that like the Supreme Court originally ruled that the map that was happening, that they redrew in Louisiana, they were going to allow that map. And since they were allowing that map, it was going to be a whole thing when it came to the black people who make up 1/3 of the population in Louisiana. It directly contradicted the Voting Rights Act. And it was like, it's the prelude to gutting the Voting Rights Act, right? Now, the interesting part to all of that is when they actually made the decision across party lines, 6-3, the actual decision to allow Louisiana to move forward with that map, something interesting happened. And this has all been within like the last 24 hours, right? I saw this and I was a little bit like, I don't understand exactly what's happening, but apparently it's happening. I'm going to put this back up on the screen. Give me a second here. Oh, no, not this one. Not this one yet. This one. All right. So that's there. Let me put it over here. The Supreme Court came back and they ruled that actually, they put out a decision actually, because the people in Louisiana, I don't know if you guys heard, but the people in Louisiana, they made a decision that what they were going to do is pause the actual elections to be able to use this new map, right? And so since they wanted to pause the election so they can use the new map, basically what the Supreme Court has is kind of a, for lack of better words, a cool down period, right? It's about 32 days before the decision is gone into effect. And the representation for Louisiana came to the Supreme Court and was like, hey, can you expedite this so we can actually go ahead and institute the new maps and use those with this election that's coming up, right? Right? And so then what happened was the Supreme Court was like, nah, fuck that. We're not going to do it. And they published this saying that they had struck down the decision. They had struck down the decision originally to even allow Louisiana to move forward with the maps. Right? That's what they said. But then after them making that original decision, Donald Trump put this message out. This is what Donald Trump put out. We cannot allow there to be an election that is conducted conducted unconstitutionally simple for the convenience of state legislators. If they have to vote twice, so be it. We should demand that state legislators do what the Supreme Court says must be done. That is more important than administrative convenience. The byproduct is that the Republicans receive more than 20 House seats in the upcoming midterms. President Donald J. Trump, right? This is what Donald Trump said. And so after Donald Trump put that message out, the Supreme Court reversed course and certified their decision and absolutely said, yep, you know what? They can do it. They can do it. They can go ahead and hold the elections and implement the new map. So Louisiana is voting with this upcoming elections under the new map that was just approved. No matter the unintended consequences or the fact that there will be issues with people being able to vote, access to vote, people being able to, knowing exactly where they're going to be. It's going to be a whole shit show. It's going to be an entire shit show, right? And now what this has done is cause dissent within the Supreme Court. Guys, the Supreme Court is fucking beefing. And you know who got smoked for all those crumb bums? You know who got smoked for each and every one of those fucking crumb bums, those conservative justices? Ketanji Jackson Brown has smoke for all of them and absolutely wrote a dissent and said what they're doing is a fucking joke. She said she called them out and said they are absolutely being biased and shifting the upcoming election by going against historical precedents, by allowing something to happen that's not normal. They're literally going against the Constitution. So Alito wrote a four-page dissent against Ketanji Jackson Brown, basically trying to call her out. The interesting thing about all of this, though, is Donald Trump was just talking shit about the conservative Supreme Court justices. Literally just talking shit about the conservative Supreme Court justices. But now he's praising them. Brown Jackson, not Jackson Brown, Brown Jackson. But now he's praising them because they're doing something that he wants. All of this shit is mind-blowing, and it speaks to the fact that Republicans know that they can't win. They can't win at the midterms. They can't win an actual election, and they're willing to do any and everything in order to steal the election. So I say all that to say this. I've been kind of saying this tongue in cheek, and I've been kind of saying this tongue in cheek since they started talking about it. And everyone keeps talking about the midterms, right? Hold on for a second.
Hello?
Done.
Yeah,
TikTok snatched you.
Yeah, I had to appeal that.
Yeah, TikTok snatched you. They said that.
I know that was crazy.
Yeah, but you know what happened while you were trying to appeal it, though?
I got permabanned.
Oh man, they didn't like you.
It's all right, man. Well, I appreciate the time to talk.
Yeah, likewise. Went on and hit that permaban in real time, chat. We got them up out the paint in real time. We got an opportunity to go ahead and hit that in real time. W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. We got to get them up out of here in real time. Fucking awesome. Anyway, like I was saying, they know they can't win, and so they're willing to cheat. And that's the model that they're moving. That's like literally how the Republican Party is moving. And I've said this over and over and over, and I'm not trying to be alarming. And I'm also not trying to be hyperbolic. And I'm not, you know, I'm not saying this because I believe in fear mongering or anything. But what I will say is I've been saying this the entire time. People have been saying, oh, well, we'll take back power at midterms. Well, the next Democratic president. And I keep saying this. If there's another election. I'm not grabbing for my tinfoil hat. I'm not saying that there's specifically something that's going to happen. But I've been saying this over and over and over. People keep waiting for the next election, and I keep saying if there's a next election. Because what I will tell you is they're doing any and everything that they can possibly do to continue to blame Democrats and divert from what's happening. Oh, one side note, this is a throwaway, but I'm going to throw this in here. Did everyone see what was going on with Rudy Giuliani? Has anyone been keeping up with what's going on with Rudy Giuliani? So Rudy Giuliani is in a hospital in critical condition, right? Oh, we got someone over on YouTube. Give me a second. Hi, Brian, are you there? Brian, you kind of froze. Can you hear me? Hello, Brian. Okay, I think Brian might be struggling with the signal. Brian, if you can hear me, you can request back up. It seems like you were struggling with the signal. If you hear me, you can request to come back. Anywho, Rudy Giuliani, right, is in critical condition in the hospital. And guess who Donald Trump said is the reason, or who caused Rudy to be in the hospital? Take a guess. Hi, Greg. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Greg. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I am a Trump supporter, and I disagree with everything you say.
Oh, okay. Everything. That's interesting. All right. Well, give me 2 seconds here, Greg. Let me do this 1 second.
And I have talked to you before.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Navy vet.
Okay. Oh, wait. Are you the one that said fuck your kids?
No. I would never say that. I would never say that to anyone.
You work in DC?
Yes, I do.
And yeah, you said fuck your kids.
I would never say fuck your kids.
No, not my kids, your kids. You said your kids aren't getting shit.
Oh, yeah. My kids aren't getting shit.
Yeah, you said fuck your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I guess let's take a whole step back. Would you like to do you want to talk about how the fact that the Republicans are mindless, moreless sheep, or did you want to talk about something different when it comes to Trump?
Well, you said that Trump was destroying the country, and I think the Democrats are destroying the country. But I can give you facts, but you don't come up with any evidence. You have no evidence.
Sure. Give me your facts as far as why Democrats are destroying the country.
Okay, so all right, let's just take one. They opened the border when they could have when Biden had the ability to close the border. I mean, Trump showed that.
Okay, substantiate that.
All right. So that, but
no. Wait, you said you can give facts. Substantiate that point.
Okay, substantiate the point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Trump came into office, immediately he did a executive order and got the border closed.
Okay, so so you're saying the border is currently closed?
Yes, yes, it is closed. There are far less people coming through the border, and almost nil.
Wait, so that's two different things now, Greg. Border being closed versus far fewer people coming in. Those are two different things. So is the border closed, or is it just
coming in?
Wait, hold on. Again, those are two different things. So is the border closed, or is there just fewer people coming in?
Well, the border's not closed because we have to have trade. We have to move goods back and forth.
Okay, so you've already failed on your point then, because your first point was the border was closed.
Illegal immigration. I'm talking about illegal immigration. Biden opened the border purposely to allow illegal immigrants to come in, so that the electoral college could be changed.
Okay, cool. So like you're just spamming like wrong shit, but that's fine. Let's take it one time.
No, that's not wrong at all.
No, it is.
Me wrong.
Tell
me where it's wrong.
No, I am. Don't worry, I got you. Greg, first and foremost, let's start with this. How did Biden open up the border?
He basically said anyone that wants to, basically the word was put out that Biden was not going to. Well, he basically handcuffed the Border Patrol, and the Border Patrol has come out and said that they basically wouldn't allow them to do their job. So the illegals were told that.
Sure. Can you point me in the direction of like any type of legislation or executive order that was signed by the Biden administration that said that Border Patrol was quote unquote handcuffed in their duties?
Well, it wasn't done. It was done by Homeland Security.
Yeah. Can you give me any?
Appointed.
Yeah, right. That's fine. But in order to do that, there would have had to be some type of legislation.
Are you trying to argue that Mayorkas did not allow this to happen?
What are you talking about?
That would be. Are you blind? Did you not see the videos of all those people coming across our border?
No.
You didn't see it?
No.
Where the fuck have you been?
I've been here, but you know what? I don't deal with. I don't deal with. I don't deal with like videos. Like, yeah, I hear you, but you still haven't provided an actual source.
That's just
no. You said, Greg. You said that you actually had facts and information. Can you give me?
Yes.
We're trying to break this down one at a time. You're trying to.
Okay, so let me give you a piece of. Okay, so
no. I don't want you to run from it just yet, Greg. I want you to actually live right here with me. Be where your feet are.
Oh my God,
Greg. Can you give me one piece of legislation? Can you give me one piece of legislation or executive order that was signed that actually removed or restricted the Border Patrol from being able to function in their duties?
No, Biden didn't do it directly. It was Mayorkas who was appointed by Biden, and he went down there and he basically gave the rules of engagement for illegals.
Undocumented
at
people.
The border.
Are you saying that? Okay, where's that document?
No, they're illegals. They're not fucking undocumented.
Greg, I don't give a fuck about what you're saying.
I don't play that woke shit.
Yeah,
I don't play that woke
these
shit.
nuts in your mouth, Greg. You're gonna yes, I am.
You're not gonna control my language.
You don't think so?
They are illegal.
You don't think so? Boom. Guess whose language just got controlled, Greg? Guess who doesn't get to speak now, Greg? Guess who's just screaming into the fucking void now, Greg? And Greg ran. That's the second fucking time Greg has ran. That's the second fucking time he's ran. I don't do all that woke bullshit. Fuck out of here. Like, either you're gonna respect my boundaries or you can leave. I don't care which one. I legitimately don't care which one. Hi, welcome back, Brian.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. Brian, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I really don't support any group, to be honest with you. I love to, the first idea of growing up and what I've learned and stuff.
Okay, so do you disagree with something on the background, or what exactly did you come up to debate?
So the whole thing I've learned from this, and this is I've heard both sides, so it's not something I just pick on one side.
Well, but just be clear. I just want to know what you're looking to debate, and then we'll go from that point.
I can't. Sorry, my screen is like real small.
That's fine. I mean, if you again, it might not be a topic on the background. I'm trying to understand specifically what was the reason, what brought you up here, what point did you disagree with me on that you wanted to talk about?
The leftist political direction.
Oh, okay. They don't have a political direction, but you're not a leftist.
No, but I watch this stuff, and if we're trying to basically convince people to jump sides and follow one person compared to another person, we have to understand that that political direction has to align with the people voting.
Wait, so again, do you vote?
Yeah, I vote. This is the last one I didn't do it because Trump said something that was actually kind of like distracted me. And when first started with voting for Trump, the one thing I did like about him, I'm a Gen Xer, so I like sarcasm.
But you voted for Trump.
I'm very much into that. Yeah, I voted in 2016.
Okay, so you're not a leftist.
I'm not either one of them, to be honest with you.
Okay, but
my parents forced me to vote back in 2008, and that was about it. And then I started voting for Trump.
I hear you, but like you're not a leftist, so you wouldn't fall in that category. Give me 2 seconds. Let me thank a couple of people, and then I'll let you open it up, and we can talk. But I just want to make sure you understand that's not what you're saying. But give me like 2 seconds, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Catching up on the donations from the permaban, or we'll start with the super chats. Debbie's in chat for the only girl. I think that's what it says. Just cut off, or the only Grace for the $5 super chat to say. As someone who with native heritage, this caller is getting my blood boiling with the rhetoric. The colonizers were murderers, always will be. Exactly. That shit was wild. Debbie's in chat for Shrimp for Less, who sent $1.99 super chat to say, what does he gain by softening genocide? I don't know what the fuck the point that was. Debbie's in chat for Sid. What up, Sid, who sent a $5 super chat to say, you're a socialist but a millionaire, so you should give up everything and not fight for the argument, or you're just performative. Much thinking. Exactly. That's exactly what he was saying. This came in for the this one came in prior to the super ban. W's in chat for Michelle for the $10 donation saying Botswana is great because they found diamonds after the British left. This guy doesn't know shit, throwing out random countries he knows nothing about. He did a lot of that. Debbie's in chat for Angela for the $5 donation saying the crux of his argument, the crux of his argument is Drake is better only because he's taller and muscular. Yes, he was admiring Drake's physique. Debbie's in chat for Michelle for the $7 donation saying only caught a few minutes of my break, but that was more than enough. Get him gone. Exactly. Debbie's in chat for Roberta for the $10 donation saying kick ban just to get them gone. Exactly. Debbie's in the chat for Savannah for the $5 donation saying, please permaban this horrible man. Love you. I love you too. Debbie's in chat for Marie for the $6.70 donation saying, jar, no air. There's already Marie, unfortunately, he couldn't go into the jar. He didn't qualify for it. But W's in chat for Marie for the $6.70. W's in chat for Alana for the $20 donation saying, I don't like him. Kick fund. A lot of people didn't. W's in chat for Barbara, who added $50 to the kick fund, said, there's so many reasons to permaban this guy. I can't even start to list it. Make him go away. God damn. W's in the chat for Barbara. W's in the chat for Lauren for the $5 for the kick fund. Say kick fund for Dun, who's delusional. W's in the chat for Elizabeth for the $5 saying permaban fun. I know that's right. W's in the chat for, let's see here. Petty, who sent 2, said, get this lowercase thinker out of here, and did. W's in the chat for Dragon Lover, who sent $20. It said, kick this POS. Got him. W's in the chat for Eureka, who sent $33 and said, just got here and already annoyed. Oh, you missed a lot. W's in the chat for Ben for the $7 donation saying, send this mother to the shadow realm. You know we did. W's in the chat for Benjamin for the 10 that said, for the band, 26 hit, look at it go. God damn. W's in the chat for Miss Donna for the $5 donation saying, permaban expeditiously. Let's go, chat. W's in the chat for Boss Lady Fun, who sent a $5 donation saying, New Yorkers don't play that. You're gone. You know what's funny? When he started bringing up New York, I was like, oh, yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. W's in the chat for Erica for the $6 for, or not Erica, Eric for the $6. Here's the last 6 for the permaban. Thank you, Eric. You didn't have to send that. We got him up out of here for that anyway. This also came in. W's in chat for Ken for the $10. Say, clock him, Santana. You know how we do. W's in chat for Jackie for the $2 donation saying, dude wouldn't even be good as a good sacrifice for the short, stubby people's God. Get out of here. I know that's right. And last but not least, guys, W's in the chat for Michael. Michael sent a $30 donation saying, fuck my kids permaban before it's even offered. God, this guy. Well, he ran, so we're good. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Also, really quickly, W's in the chat over on Twitch for Sarah. Sarah became a subscriber with their Amazon Prime. W's in the chat for Sarah. Thank you so much for becoming a subscriber over on Twitch. All right. Coming back to you, Brian. I guess, are you saying that we need to take a more moderate stance? Are you saying that we need to reach across the aisle? What's your position? I'm a little confused.
The position is that when you're reaching to basically what it is, that the American voters are the ones that decides who's in our office, not what somebody can sell a bunch of BS on a stage. That's the one thing that led me to Trump was he was carrying out all his truths back in 2016. I don't know about today, but before he was. He's one of the ones that was talking trash like we used to do in school.
Can you name?
So he touched to the base of Gen Xers.
Wait, can you carry it out?
And when
Brian, can you hear me? Can you name one of the truths that he carried out back in 2016?
Many of them. He said he was going to go do a strike without letting anybody know about it, and then he struck Syria without even letting anybody know about it till it was over. He tells you exactly what he's going to do before he does it.
Wait.
So he's very open, honest, and stuff like that. That's at the beginning. I can't speak for today. I can only speak for back then. But that was just a show to set the stage for him coming back. That's all that was.
Right, but that doesn't track. You said that
he told Leftist.
You said he told people that he was going to go strike Syria without letting anyone know that he was going to strike Syria. But if he told people he was going to strike Syria, but wait, if he told people he was going to strike Syria without letting them know that he was going to strike Syria, and then he strikes Syria, he told people that he was going to strike Syria. That doesn't track.
No, he didn't tell you when it was going to happen.
But he
didn't do like everybody else that goes and broadcasts over the entire news. Hey, we're about to come hit you. No, he did it with the element of surprise. And then at the end of it, he goes, hey, by the way, I did this. So basically,
can you give me any
he's the kind of guy that basically is this is why I don't follow political views, is because, okay, politicians are the most dangerous people out there. They don't care about you. They got money. They don't deserve actually anything what you listen to, anything like that. They work for everybody under the closed doors that nobody knows about.
I disagree, Brian.
And these hidden people
Brian, I disagree.
Have been exposed already.
Brian, I disagree. Stupid people are the most dangerous people out there, right? Because stupid people believe stuff without reasoning. And since stupid people believe stuff without reasoning, they're easily manipulated by people who are either stupid, or clever, or people that are smart and understand how to manipulate stupid people. And so they say,
well, it's not really stupidity. It's a politician has a silver tongue like Obama. He knows how to sell words really good to get people convinced that, his belief, and you just love hearing what he has to say. He, like E40 says, still saying to a beach, he knows how to sell you pretty good. Same as Trump, same as all these other leaders. They know how to say, okay, let's take for Hitler, right?
So wait, no.
Everybody like
Brian,
to call
slow
Trump
down.
Hitler.
Brian, slow down. This is a conversation.
Okay.
We're gonna go back and forth. Don't go forever. Did you buy the sand?
E40? No, he didn't try to sell it to me.
From Trump. Did you buy the sand from Trump?
2016, I sold into it. I just told you that.
Okay. So it sounds like, it's a personal thing where you got taken by a snake oil salesman.
Same as Obama. How you think he got in office twice?
How was he a snake oil salesman?
Because Obama didn't do any good for America at all. He actually sold us out. I do believe that, and for a fact, that he's the one that was caging children. And then mysteriously, after he does that, he blames Trump for it, but Trump wasn't even in office at that time.
That's not true.
So that's where where silver tongue stuff comes
Brian,
in, where you try to blame somebody else for what's somebody else's problem.
Brian, that's not true.
Actually, it's all over the news. It is true.
What you're saying is not true. Barack Obama never said, "Oh, I blame Trump." You're conflating reality, and you don't understand the things.
Actually, no, he did.
He didn't.
He said that's the reason why you should not vote for him. It's because he caged children. Don't you remember his speeches?
When
he was trying to vote for Biden to get in office.
Hey, Brian. You're conflating.
Or Hillary Clinton.
Brian, you're conflating reality. So.
No, I'm not conflating reality. Here's reality, and this is the straight cold reality that most people don't like about this, and this is the straight.
Guess who can't hear you speak anymore now, Brian? I've literally said that this is going to be a conversation back and forth. Stop interrupting me, and I don't have to mute you. I'm going to go ahead and take you off mute. Please stop doing that and let me finish my sentence. Are we good?
You can have the control scene.
Okay, perfect. So you're conflating reality. That's not what Barack Obama said. Barack Obama absolutely had cages, which kids were in the cages under the Obama administration, but those were temporary holding cells. Temporary holding cells. They were in those actual cells for less than 24 hours so they could be sent for a hearing, and there was a decision on whether or not they would be removed. And the reason why they were in those holding cells is because they had to separate women and children from men, right? And so that's what happened. Now, when you talk about what Donald Trump is doing and what Barack Obama called out is that Donald Trump didn't use those holding cells as holding cells. He used them as living quarters, which is something that he's continued to do in his second term, where instead of keeping them in those holding facilities for less than 24 hours, he's kept them in there for longer extended periods while putting more people in those holding cells. So do you understand what the difference is between those two and what Obama was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would like for you to tell me then, what is it that Barack Obama said that he was going to do and didn't do? Because you said he didn't do anything, but Barack Obama literally led us out of the Great Recession. And I have a multitude of things that I can point to that he actually did. But like, I'm trying to understand how he was a snake oil salesman like Trump.
Because that is actually not a fact. He didn't bring us out of recession. We didn't have jobs back under his era. There was actually no proof of the jobs. I've seen the statistics of it. They were sold at over news, but there was no evidence showing that we were getting jobs, any deflation of our finances or anything like that. He didn't bring nothing to us.
Okay.
He destroyed our country more than anything. He sold Iran, nuclears?
Wait,
and that's something we shouldn't be doing.
Like you're spamming the wrong shit. Like you're literally just spamming all the wrong shit that you know. And again, this is fucking crazy. Let me just correct this. No, Barack Obama had 75 straight months back to back to back to back to back to back to back. 75 straight months of consecutive job growth, starting in October of 2010 until January of 2017. That's the longest streak. That was the longest streak ever, where there were a total of 11 million jobs added following the Great Recession.
So now, where's this at? Because what city was this? Was it Washington D.C. only?
And the United States of America.
No.
Okay, perfect. Give me a source that proves that I'm wrong.
I can open my eyes when I was around actually living at that time.
I don't care about your crusty eyes. I'm sure you might have cataracts or some shit. I like, who are we going to believe?
Now you ain't clowning, because the fact is that people who actually live out here in the world actually know what we live in.
Are we going to believe the data and the facts and the information, or are we going to believe your lying ass eyes?
Data what?
I'm telling you, we have information from the Bureau of Labor.
In other words, you believe into a computer that some man typed into, and you said that's your statistics you go by. But yeah, you ain't gonna believe someone actually from the streets. That's the most messed up thing I've ever heard in my life. You're saying stupidity is what destroys things, and yet that is stupidity if you think an AI system is more intelligent than the people actually living their life.
Who the fuck is using AI?
That's computer genius. That's statistics. Where do you think they get it from?
Not all computers is AI, you donut.
Actually, they do use that for generation of when they're doing statistics. Maybe you need to go study that.
I study statistics. I know how to. You're a donut. Anyway, the actual question I have for you is, you're saying, am I going to believe the information that's on the computer, or am I going to believe someone that's living in the streets? Question for you, Brian. What state do you live in?
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay. So I don't know which city you're living in. I don't want you to tell me what city you're living in. I'm just going to say you live in Gary. Okay. So let's just say you live in Gary. If you live in Gary and you're saying that you're seeing this because you're in the streets, can you tell me what's happening in Chicago?
No.
Okay. So if you can only,
but you hear by word of mouth, can't you?
Sure, but if you can only speak from your experience that's occurring in Gary, Indiana, and not for what's happening for people in Chicago, Illinois, why should we listen to you for the entire country when you only know what's happening in your area?
But like I just said, if I have family in Chicago, and I got to go by word of mouth, wouldn't I?
Do you have Chicago,
somebody that sits behind a desk?
Do you have family in every city and state across the country?
Not every single one of them.
Okay, so then there's some areas that must not be accounted for then, huh?
But what I'm trying to say is you're running around to a computer that depend on everything. That's okay. Let's take it to this way, okay? Let's do a job as a reference, right? So let's say you're a truck driver, right? Driving a semi. And you're out here driving a semi every day. You know how that semi operates. You know how traffic operates. But yet you got some guy sitting behind a desk like you're doing right now, looking at a computer, and he's going to tell you what he thinks safe how to drive a semi, even though he's never touched one in his entire life. That is the same reference you're using as trying to know the difference between a computer and the people out here actually living the life. And that's what you're going to go by. That's false.
Okay, Brian.
Where was these computers at? These statistics at before?
Hold on 1 second.
Computers came.
Brian, 1 second.
Where they at?
Brian, 1 second. I just want to let you know you fucked up. You fucked up, right?
How?
You picked the wrong example to use with the wrong person. So I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. And I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about my personal life and the things that I've done. And people have heard me talk about, like, oh, I have 2 MBAs and I've worked for Fortune 50 companies. Hey, Brian, one of my degrees, my MBA, is in supply chain management and logistics. I actually work for PepsiCo, and I ran their distribution for the Southeast area. And then after working for PepsiCo, I worked for Penske Logistics, and I ran their logistics for their delivering long haul in the entire country. So when you talk about people that drive the 18-wheelers and the people that sit on the computer and tell them what to do, that was me, Bub. That's literally me. That's literally me. And you know what happened?
So you was actually driving the semis, or you the one working behind the desk?
That's what I'm telling. I was the one working behind the desk. That's what I'm literally sitting here telling you.
Because I am actually the truck driver you're talking to. So I would actually say you don't know what you're talking about, because have you ever been behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler?
I'm going to finish what I was saying. Yeah, I have.
Have you ever been behind?
I'm going to mute you because I'm going to finish what I was saying. Yeah, I've used to play, and not going to lie, guys, not going to hold you. While my employees used to be out delivering, I would go out into like the 18-wheelers and then get behind the wheel and honk the horn and cool shit. Also, because there was a warehouse where they, they delivered equipment and all this other stuff. And while I was hanging out in the warehouse by myself, I would go hop on a like a forklift and drive it around the facility like Mario Kart, like literally. Anyway, Brian, I got you muted because I'm going to finish my point. I was the one that was responsible for a couple of different things, including the modernization of our DOT process for PepsiCo, where we actually instituted an application that integrated their grid logs and that allowed us to be able to get real-time tracking on the hauls, long haul, short haul, and being able to process so we can keep the people moving from different areas. And then with Penske, I was the one that actually modernized and optimized the transportation across the board going into Mexico as well. So while we did have drivers, right, who actually drove these 18-wheelers, and I literally had conversations with them. I didn't just say, this is what the number says, and we're just going to do the things based off the numbers. What I did do is listen to the actual people that were driving. And then I took the facts, data, and information, and then I gave them something better to do. I help optimize downtime, reset times. I help create intermediary points so we can have loads transfer from one to the other. That way we can optimize the delivery and the routes. I did all of that. So you sitting here saying that you are an 18-wheeler driver and you're out on the roads and all that, I'm not knocking that, but I'm telling you, you picked the wrong example, because in the example that you tried to give, it is literally better to listen to the people sitting behind the fucking desk than the actual driver. Because if you listen to the driver, yes, they're going to know that, hey, going through this area, you shouldn't speed, or hey, going through this area, there's lower power lines. And so the truck, I remember one time that one of my drivers pulled down power lines and a fucking pole, and I had to get on the phone with the cops and everything. Like, I remember that. So I know that they know those types of shit. But when it comes to optimization, updating, and being able to do the things, you definitely need to listen to the people behind the computer more than you just listen to the people driving.
That's crazy, because, I don't bite my own horn because I really don't really care about this award, but I got a 5-year safety award. And the most amazing thing is, not one person behind a desk told me how to get that. I did it by experience of driving a semi and actually living behind a semi. I've been in 2 major accidents because of someone else's reckless behavior. So a guy's safety data or anything like that did not help anything in my case when driving a semi or getting to a location, because many of the people that say they're behind a desk couldn't even get us to location, got us stuck in really bad spots. So in other words, there was a really good bad reputation. Maybe you were good at your job. Brian? Hey, I'm saying maybe you were good at your job.
Do you use geo?
But not every company follows that.
Do you use geo tracking?
No.
Oh, see, that's why you fucked up. We installed geo tracking in all of our trucks, so we can.
No. Let's back this up. I didn't do anything because I don't own a company. I just drive a company truck. So I don't do anything. I have no say in this company. I just drive their semi and get their money done. So in other words, like I'm saying, is the same as your speech you're giving. It's the same reason why the Democrats fail every single time. They don't listen to the people. They trust computers. They trust everything else in the world, but they don't listen to the audience. They like to scream racial.
I disagree.
They like to scream Hitler. They like to scream all these stupidity stuff, but yet they don't know how to actually talk to the people because.
I disagree, Brian. I think that it's stupid people like you that's the problem. And I'm just going to say what it is. Stupid people who, for some reason, think that like what they believe is more important than facts or information. What they believe is more relevant than the things that are actually happening. Like for you to come up here and say that your experience is indicative of the entire country speaks to the fact that you have no idea how things work. That's fucking wild, Brian.
That's crazy, because you just muted somebody and interrupt them because you wanted to prove some kind of point that's not even there. You don't want to listen to the people. You want to actually bully your opinion onto people. People are telling you that the Democratic Party has been failing since the 60s. Even Malcolm X warned you of him. But yet you still vote for him because you say, oh, hey, you know, they're the great people in the world.
Stop running. What did Malcolm X say?
Malcolm X said they were actually cautious around them. They're like foxes. They smile and no value.
Around who?
The Democrat and the Liberal Party.
Nope, he didn't say. He said
you're
white
try
liberals.
to rewrite history?
He said white liberals. He said white liberals. What did he say? What did he say about white conservatives?
White liberals.
What did he say about white conservatives?
I didn't hear him talk about conservatives.
Of course
he kept telling you about the media.
Of course you
and
fucking
liberals.
didn't. No. Yeah, I'm gonna mute you again. I fucking love when they quote Malcolm X, not fucking knowing Malcolm X. I love it when they do that shit. And they love to say, oh, white liberals, white liberals. Malcolm X talked about white liberals and white conservatives because Malcolm X didn't trust white people or the political system. It wasn't about Democrats. It wasn't about liberals. Malcolm X was making the point that black people should not have party allegiance, but to align with whoever is going to do what's best for black people. They love calling out the fact that Malcolm X called the fucking white liberals foxes because of the grin, but negate the remember that he said that white conservatives don't have to hide as foxes. They're just wolves. He made the comparison saying that white liberals were foxes where white conservatives were wolves, and underlined that both of them would end up eating you. I fucking love when they make these quotes and don't know shit about shit. There you go, Brian.
Or they just set you up for a better one. Now that you're the know-it-all and you want to sell your Democrat Party on the people, you go this one. And now there's a Cuban guy that actually went to the Democrat speech like you did. And then I actually did the same thing to him. So here he goes. You believe in Google as a reliable source?
No, Google isn't a source, you donut. Google is a search engine.
Do you believe if they actually put something on there and actually a reliable source, you believe it?
No, I think that you have to verify sources no matter where they come from, no matter if it's Google, Bing,
Do you believe Wiki?
Yahoo.
Do you believe Wiki is?
No, Wiki is not a reliable source because anyone can edit it, you donut.
No, I'm a donut, huh?
Yes, you're a whole, you're fully glazed.
No. Let's back all this trash talk and stuff. You're talking inside your mouth. What about the Jim Crow law?
What the fuck does that have to do with Google? Can you finish your point with Google?
Because you can actually search it up on Google. That's why I asked you.
Search
what about the Jim Crow law? What about the Jim Crow law?
No, Brian, you're not going to run from
That's
the
what I say. You can search up Jim Crow law on the Google.
No. What was the point of you bringing up Google? Because you tried to say, do I find Google to be reliable?
I just said it. So you can search up Jim Crow law.
What the fuck does Jim Crow law have to do? We weren't even talking about the Jim Crow.
Actually, we're talking about Democrats, right?
We were talking about the way.
So Jim Crow law. Because you were sitting over this powering point about Malcolm X, and you were saying he was so against conservatives only.
We're talking about how you tried to weaponize a part of Malcolm X's speech talking about white liberals while not knowing his entire quote when talking about the wolf and the fox and the comparison between the white liberals and the white conservatives and how he said they're the same thing, just different animals. You go look it up on Google, bub.
And then won't you go ahead and look up Jim Crow law and who created it? It wasn't the conservatives, genius. It was actually the Democrats. And that's who right after that was done, Malcolm X was speaking against. So learn your history.
Hey, Brian.
You vote for a racist group while you call Republicans racist.
Hey, Brian, what's the Southern strategy?
Actually, no. Here you go. Who's the first party out there? No. Who's the first party out there?
Brian, answer the question. What's the Southern strategy?
No, history lesson.
Brian.
Who's the first party?
Hey, answer my fucking question. What's the Southern strategy? I'll answer your
question, Chief. If you can answer who's the first.
I've already answered your stupid questions. Answer the question, Brian. Stop running and focus on what you're saying. What is the Southern strategy?
Democrats. You're going to fail at this, Chief, because the Democrats are corrupt. No matter how much you try to sell it, no matter how you talk inside your
Brian,
mouth, no matter how much you swing on Trump's little wee-wee, you're going to have to accept the fact is you guys are serving the wrong people.
Hey, Brian, does it hurt?
It don't hurt me at all because I don't vote, Chief. It hurts you.
Right. I'm sure being this stupid, I thought would hurt.
I don't get on the sites and sit there and cry about Trumpy Trump because nobody cares about Trumpy Trump. You don't care about you.
You do. Obviously, being this stupid.
What I'm saying is, he don't care about you.
That's fine, Brian. Like at this point, you serve no functional purpose, none. You don't know anything. You are super loud. And you are unwilling to actually engage with facts, information, or reality. You, for some reason, think that you are an expert while not knowing shit. Brian, do you know what you actually are? You're an ultra-crepidarian. And I'm sure you have no idea what that is. I'm positive you have no idea what an ultra-crepidarian is, but that's what you are. Now, Brian, I'm going to give you the option to speak again. But I want you to say something of substance. And when you do, I want you to back up whatever you say with an actual source. So don't just spam a bunch of random things and don't just say things that you can't prove. Floor is yours.
So my first thing is going to be from your everybody's favorite, Easy Fondarelli said it earlier, you're more full of poop than a porta potty. But anyways, we're going to go with the Democrat Party, and you can actually look this history up too because it's in books. I mean, you got to be dumb if you can't read books.
Please.
And it actually is. Democrat was the very first party out there. Democrat was the very first party out there. There was no Republicans until 1895. Genius. So in other words, all your racist people were the Democrats. You don't know shit.
Yeah. What's the Southern strategy?
Southern strategy was always to make sure blacks couldn't vote. So in other words, you don't know your history.
Oh my God, you're so stupid. Like literally at this point, you have no purpose. Why can't you just say you don't know stuff, Brian? Like, why are you this confident being this loud and wrong at the same time?
Vote.
Why are you this comfortable being this loud and wrong at the same time? Like the hubris of a mediocre white man. And guess what? I've seen you. I saw you when you originally came in here. I know for a fact that you would be able to benefit from some of these progressive policies. I know for a fact that you're someone that needs access to universal health care and dental care. But yet you are so hell-bent on living in this weird ass conservative bubble that you think that like, oh, it's the blacks, it's the blacks. Like, what are we even doing? Brian, I'm going to give you one more chance. Can you please tell me what the Southern strategy is? Or if you don't know, just say, I don't know. Can you tell me? Either one.
I told you what the Southern strategy was. You don't want to listen to it because actually it goes against your morals. In other words, you like to bully people by muting them, but then you probably do that thing where most cowards do. They get off the phone and they start trashing their viewers about how the guy ran off, but it's actually you that hung up the phone.
No.
So in other words,
because if I kick you, then we have a sound effect. Like my guys know that if I kick you, then you hear. All right, so like there's never a question about me, just quote unquote getting off the phone. If I wanted to kick you, I would kick you.
Well, you're the first honest one, you say.
I'm telling you that you serve no purpose, and I'm looking for.
And you can tell me whatever you want to because you don't know who I am. I mean, like I said, did you get that from your statistics?
Yes, statistically speaking.
Did you read a computer somewhere?
Yes, the computer.
Did it tell you what to do?
Yes, the computer told me to call you stupid.
Does your AI system tell you to wipe your butt every morning?
The AI said wipe the butt of your stupidity. Yes, absolutely.
It's stupidity. I don't follow false things.
You don't know anything.
You think some kind of man's going to save you. Who?
Hey, Brian, what's the 3 branches of the government?
Wow, we're going back to the government.
Yes. What's the 3 branches of the government?
Was it the executive, the judicial, and what was the other one? Oh, man, right off the bat. Sorry, put me on the spot.
Sometimes the silence can be so loud, chat. Sometimes the silence can absolutely be so loud. This is the first time that he stopped yapping, and I didn't mute him. I didn't mute him this time. He muted himself, and not even muting himself. He's just not talking because he doesn't know shit. I'm assuming he's going to Google it.
I ain't got no mute.
Yeah, you just stop talking because you don't know shit.
Legislative?
Good for you going to look at
what did that have to do with prove your point? Tell me. Please lie to me about your whole talking about your computer again.
Sure. My point is that when you come up here and you're trying to speak from a specific position and you don't even know the basic functions of shit, why should we listen to you? No, you didn't even know the 3 branches of the federal government.
Do you know why people don't pay attention to that?
Why?
Nobody cares.
Okay. What do they care about?
If you ain't talking stuff that makes sense, or you ain't doing stuff that actually changes something, you're actually serving no purpose, genius. Let's use your own words. If you ain't doing things that actually change the way this world's going,
what do they care about?
You ain't making no purpose. You're just benefiting from it.
What do they care about?
What do you benefit from, Chief? What does your podcast actually bring to the people?
It's not a podcast, it's live. And
live, wow, difference.
Yeah, it brings,
but what does it bring? Tell me. What does it bring?
Comedy. We get to laugh at people like you.
No, the comedy there. So what purpose do you bring?
Collectively, you got over 2,000 people.
You're selling things that people have to have a purpose. Tell me your purpose.
My purpose is to make sure that people know not to be stupid.
No, that's not your purpose.
That is literally
what is your purpose?
My purpose is to expose.
I can prove your stupidity too. You didn't even know who created the Jim Crow law.
Prove it.
As soon as someone talked about it, you ran from it and muted them. Because you had to admit the Democrat Party created that law.
I didn't.
And actually enforced it with 0 Republican backing.
Just because you don't understand what the Southern strategy
I know you don't understand.
Gonna mute you again now. Just because you don't understand the Southern strategy and the ideology switch, where it wasn't about Democrats and Republicans, it was about conservatives and progressives, and it's always been about conservative and progressives. And so those people that were Democrats were Democratic conservatives, and those people that were Republicans were progressive Republicans. And now you talk about conservative Republicans and progressive Democrats. So just because you don't understand party ideology and the Southern strategy and, you know, Lee Atwater and what happened after the 1965 Civil Rights Act, like just because you don't know things doesn't make you right. Like just because you feel like you are, you know, in this bubble of just like, oh, I feel this way, so since I feel this way, I must be right. No, that's literally not how it works. That's not how it works. And yes, the point of my podcast is to make sure that people don't be stupid and at the same time laugh at stupid people.
And you dodged it again. Isn't that amazing?
Did you listen to anything that I said?
Here it is, Chief, and I'm going straight up to you because you asked me at the very beginning who I believed in. So no, we already heard your stuff and that stuff like that, and I can't be a coward like.
That's fine. I'm going to put you back on mute and let you think about the question again, and I'm just going to thank a couple of people. W's in the chat for J Hops. J Hops sent a $5 donation saying, Brian, I'm a Gen Xer. I love to talk shit, and I'm not going to vote for a president who talks shit about people's humanity. That's not a reason to vote. That absolutely is not a reason to vote. W's in the chat for Yardra. Yardra sent a $5 donation saying his own quote unquote trust me bro status. Yes, he absolutely, like, that's all he got is trust me bro. W's in the chat for Pernell for the $10 donation saying them darn Democrats don't know nothing because them darn computers, I tell you what, I know that's right. Pernell. W's in the chat for Antonio for the $2 donation saying one from each of Brian's teeth. Dang. W's in the chat for Xavier for the $10 donation saying huge thanks to you. Thanks to you for getting me to stop supporting Trump. Absolutely, Xavier. I appreciate you. Anyways, we need to talk about Lakers win against OKC tonight. Listen, lock in, twin. W's in the chat for Jocelyn for the $1 donation saying he sounds so bitter and angry about everything and directing it at the wrong people. It's just sad. It is like he's flailing at this point. And W's in chat for Linda for the $5 donation saying the cognitive dissonance that MAGA has to have has to be studied for years. I'm so sick of hearing people being so loud and so wrong. Please let Brian know that I said he's an idiot. I will. W's in the chat. W's in chat for Don for the $5 donation from Don for days. Sent a purple heart, said, tell Brian he's uneducated. It's Jim Crow laws. Yes, it is. W's in chat for Linda for the $1 donation, said, also tell Linda, oh, got it. Like Beetlejuice? Lydia, not Linda. Holy smokes, Lydia. W's in chat for Marie for the $3 donation, saying, can Brian go in the jar? I'll even give him his cousin's wife his company. Marie, you can absolutely put Brian in the jar. You absolutely can. W's in chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Also, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Turn on notifications so you know when we go live. We go live every day, and it's absolutely amazing. So please, please, please hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. If you're over on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe. Brian, I addressed your question.
You are, Chief.
I'm sorry.
I was to say, man, you got like that mute button a lot, don't you?
Yeah, it helps with people who have impulse.
So I'm going to sum this up because, you know, this ignorance is going on and on and on. And the cowards are behind text messages and stuff like that, man. I'm just beyond me.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to sum this up. I'm going to bring it right back to the very beginning of this conversation so we can go ahead and end this shenanigans.
Are you giving a farewell?
So in other words, here it is, Chief. Brian, I told you at the very beginning, I don't vote for any parties, right? There you go, talking over people.
No, I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Are you saying that you're giving your farewell speech?
Yeah, ending. You know what ending means?
Okay, go ahead.
It means getting nowhere.
You got it. Go ahead.
You hadn't proved no points.
You got it. Go ahead.
So in other words, the very beginning is I told you I don't believe it's any of the parties.
This is a Wendy's, sir, not an airport. This is literally a Wendy's. This is not an airport. And he was like, oh. He was like, oh, well, are you the type that kicks people and then hide and say that they? No, I told you, like, we got exit music for you donuts. I'm like, I don't hide behind the fact that I kicked you. I got you up out the paint, bub. proudly, we got you up out of here. Like, I don't know what you think this is, right? So there's that. There is absolutely that. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Definitely not a Trump supporter, but kind of disagree with something. The leftist political direction.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask your thoughts because I haven't really heard your thoughts about that statement. I just wanted to hear what you had to say about that. If that's okay.
Yeah, my position is the people who consider themselves to be leftists that actually participate in the political system lack an overall fundamental guidance as far as understanding what's needed to not only gain power, but a specific message and how to coalesce around the right people. You see certain people who claim to be leftists and they say, well, since I'm a leftist and I can't support Kamala Harris, I'm because of something that she said or some position that isn't strong enough, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. Or they take the same position and saying like, oh, I think that we need a new government, a new system. So I want to vote for Donald Trump because he's going to destroy everything. And then we'll get some type of new system without having an actual premise as far as what that new system should be and how to mitigate the harm that will happen to people.
Yeah, I can somewhat agree with that. I would say, I guess not a counterpoint, I suppose, would be the Democrats and Republican parties both kind of, have a firm grip of the government and kind of keep it that way. So what would you like? I don't really know. I feel like a lot of people who won't identify as leftists do it as from a lack of understanding because they don't really get much exposure to that, if it makes sense.
What do you mean much exposure?
Like the Democratic Party is not really that far left when you can relative to other forms of government.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely a lot of moderate Democrats, i.e. that's why I call out moderate Democrats as well. But I think that there needs to be understanding as far as those people that call themselves like progressive, people that call themselves leftists, anyone that is far left that actually participates in the political system, because we do have people that fall under the leftist umbrella who don't participate in the political system because they don't believe it as a whole. And so I understand that, but the ones that do seem to lack that full understanding as far as like making sure that we're driving behind the people that would provide the best progressive policies and things that we need as a society.
Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah, I didn't think this would be much of a debate. I agree with you on most things. I just wanted to ask about that. Also, real quick, you has mentioned it a few times, and I tried to find it. You mentioned the study of cops pulling people over at night, and I cannot remember the name of it, and I wanted to read it myself. So,
yeah,
what is that study?
It's the Veil of Darkness study.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. And final thing, screw the Dodgers. They took Mookie Betts from me. I hate you guys. Have a good day.
Yep, get out of here. Yeah. Debbie's in chat for Miss Torres for the $1 donation saying his source is actually from myclanscessors.com. Golly, myclanscessors.com. That is fucking wicked work, Miss Torres. Ain't no way. Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Debbie's in chat for Morgan for the $2 donation saying, had to message my boyfriend at home so he could hear how stupid Brian is. Shout out Obi. What up, Obi? How we doing, Obi? We chilling? Debbie's in the chat for Morgan and Debbie's in the chat for Obi. Jeez Louise. Oh my God. Debbie's in the chat for where is it? Holy smokes. Twitch has been going off over here. Twitch hates fucking, what is that guy named Vet, Navy vet or whatever? That fucking guy sucks. He watches over on Twitch and Twitch will bully him to come up. Twitch set that guy up twice. Like Twitch bullied him into actually coming up twice and he ran both times. Fucking Twitch is on it. Twitch is on their necks. Debbie's in the chat for let's see here. I think it's pronounced the Nukato. I don't know how to say that. For becoming a subscriber with your YouTube Prime. Debbie's in the chat. We hit 250 subs over on Twitch. Holy shit. Debbie's in the chat. Debbie's in the chat for Landrose for the 500 bits. Debbie's in the chat for Baby Doll, who sent 300 bits. Debbie's in the chat for Manders, who sent 5 bits. Debbie's in the chat for Baby Doll, who gifted a 1-month membership subscription. And Debbie's in the chat for Manders, who sent 3 more bits. Debbie's in the chat for all the Twitchers. Twitch is popping off. Like fucking Twitch is popping off. Is it hard to get streaming on Twitch? No. Twitch is like low key. If you guys have never watched a stream from Twitch, you should do it at least once. Because like you think the TikTok chat can be funny. Twitch is on a whole different level. Twitch, I fuck with Twitch. Like Twitch chat is funny as fuck. They are funny as fuck. Debbie's in the chat for all the donos, guys. Debbie's in the chat for Rachel for the $5 donation saying, Santana, it's primary day in Indiana. Can you do a call out for Indiana voters, please? Yes. Listen, hey, that's fucking awesome. Debbie's in the chat. Thank you so much, Amber. That was cute. I like that. For everyone that's in Indiana, it's super important that we show up and vote, especially when you talk about states where there is a lack of representation of progressive Democrat, leftist, liberal, whatever you want to call yourself, voters. It's more important than ever for us to show up and actually vote in those elections. So please make sure you are getting out and doing the things and absolutely voting. That is pertinent. There's Ohio, there's primaries in Cleveland. Yep. If you're in Ohio, make sure that you actually get out and vote there as well. Absolutely. Debbie's in the chat. Get out there and do the darn thing. Oh, wait, hold on. There was something else that I want to share with you guys. Where is it? Where did you guys put it? Chat, where did you put it? Stop hiding stuff from me, chat. Jeebus. Can't believe you guys are hiding shit from me. Tennessee as well? Okay. Fuck it. I don't know where you guys put it. So since you guys hid it from me, then I'm not going to be able to actually I'm not going to be actually able to talk about that. But what I do want to do really quick is play my video for you guys. I made a video and I posted this morning, and like I had to, I tagged these people in it too. You guys know how I am. Like I'm with all the shits at all the time, at all times. And so since I'm with all the shits at all times, I don't, like I say everything I got to say, and I say it with my chest, right? So hold on. If you're anything like me, you've noticed. Wrong one. What the fuck? Did you guys change the thing on me? What are you doing? God damn it, chat. Stop changing stuff. All right. You guys ready? Ready? Okay. If you're anything like me, you've noticed a lack of Trump supporters running around over the last few days, weeks, months. And for a while, I was starting to think maybe they realized that voting for a 34-count felon that's also a racist, sexist, classist, someone that has been held liable for raping a woman, just isn't the best person to support. But you and I would both be wrong. It's not that they no longer support Trump, but they're going through this extinction burst where they're just lashing out with a bunch of stupid shit. So you all know me, and if they're not going to come to me, then I'll definitely go to them, infiltrating their safe spaces and taking on people like Texas for Trump. And if you have no idea who Texas for Trump is, well, she's the proud owner of cringy content like this.
I got a question because I really need to know. Do you ever get tired of being a bitch ass liberal?
Now, after I completely obliterated her in that debate, I decided I wanted to go find out where in the world is the rest of MAGA. I found Trump supporters like Seisha who say stupid shit like,
if you call me a colonizer, I'm gonna make you fucking cry, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it, okay? It's not my fault that my ancestors were better at fighting than yours.
The reason why people call you and people like you colonizers is because your ancestors actually killed so many indigenous people that it cooled the temperature of the earth. And while you like to pretend that your ancestors were some great fighters, what they actually did was enact biowarfare. They brought so many different types of diseases and plagues to Turtle Island that they wiped out the indigenous people. They weren't good fighters. They were just disgusting. Let's see if she's going to make me cry now. Next up, we have Kiara, who thinks that we all forgot something.
Looks like you forgot. Once again, how powerful you are.
Kiara is a white Christian nationalist that thinks that she's doing her part to keep the white race strong. She's not doing that great of a job because if you take a look at the birth rates, the birth rate for white people have officially dipped below 50% to 49.7%. Now, I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that since 2015, biracial marriage has increased by 17%, while biracial birth rates have increased by 42%. I wonder why. We have people like Sin Speaks.
Be a liberal in this day and age means you're easily manipulated, you can't think for yourself, and you are extremely mentally weak.
Yeah, Sin is absolutely right. Liberals are so easily manipulated, can't think for themselves.
Feel about the war drug. I'd say bomb the shit out of them and get it over with.
Absolutely mentally weak.
This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. I just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah.
And last but not least, we have people like Big Belly Sean, which I don't know if he's black or not, Black MAGA, but at the very least, he has takes like this.
Y'all don't think it's weird that Don Lemon and Kamala Harris can tell us that white men are the biggest enemy to the black men, but they're fucking white men?
But what's worse is his misogynistic takes.
If I can afford all y'all, why would I only have one? Make it make sense, bitch.
Now, this is the type of content that floods the manosphere. Black men who, for some reason, only want to vote Republican because they think it's going to give them some type of proximity to power and give them some type of access to whiteness that they don't and will never have. People like them and people that align with them keep ducking me. And I say this with my whole chest. I want all the smoke. Hell, I want the smoke so bad that I tag each and every one of them in this video. Moral of the story is to them and each and every Trump supporter out there, if you're going to keep popping big shit, then you got to stand up and actually defend it. Say it with your chest or don't say it at all. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You think they're gonna come see us? I don't think they're gonna come see us. I think they're gonna keep hiding. I'm not gonna hold you. I think they're gonna keep hiding. I tagged them all too. I fucking tagged each and every one of them. Except who was it? Sin Speaks. For some reason, well, she had her tags off, so I couldn't tag her, but I still put the comment. But I think they're gonna keep hiding. You think they'll make a response video? Let's see. Fuck them all. Listen, I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's see. Make sure you guys go like that video, repost it, comment it, blow it up. I want to get pushed behind that video because fuck them. Like, they got so many bad takes that it was ridiculous. Like, they got some trash ass takes. What? Anyway, Vash said they'll make a response video that just say no. Oh man, like it's weird. I ended up on like this whole MAGA algorithm. It's the cringiest shit I've ever seen. It's so weird. It's so weird. It happened because like I end up scrolling into like a live and debating this guy Blago, whatever, and then Texas for Trump ended up coming up, and she got mad because I cooked the shit out of her, and she was like, "I'm a lady." I said, "What does that have to do with this debate? What does you being a woman have to do with the proof that you still haven't provided? You're not gonna spam the "I'm a woman" card if you're not gonna provide the proof. This is a debate. Like, we're just debating. I just need the proof." But she was spamming it. And then someone said, "Don't forget Montana." No bullshit. No bullshit. Montana has me blocked. I scrolled into Montana's live one time, got Montana to debate me to the point where she had some guy up there, Chet or some shit. And she got so mad, she started yelling at him and telling him to shut up and dropped him. And then she blocked me. She's not Joey. She absolutely is not. Clint, is that his name? Clint? Yeah. I posted a video about it. She got so mad. She said, "Shut up, Clint." And she got so mad. She said, "Shut up, Clint." And then she dropped him. And then couldn't actually handle the debate. And then fucking blocked me. Oh my God. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. After, dude, I know I would never talk to, like, the older millennial came in here one time before I knew who he was. And he ended up coming up. It was like when I first started debating, I didn't know who he was. And then he was up, and then Kay hit me up on the back end, was like, "No, fuck this guy," and told me about his whole like premise as far as throwing people with disabilities off a cliff and shit. And I was like, "Oh no, fuck him." I think that was the first ever perma ban without even having to take up any type of collection or whatever. And so he's been back multiple times, and people like, debate older millennial. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna debate that guy. Why the fuck would I debate him? Why the fuck would I debate him? Absolutely not. Deb's in chat for Fashi. Hey, Fashi, sent a $9 donation saying, "Good afternoon, Santana. Can't wait to see you cook all these cultist MAGA influencers. If they block you, they know that they're wrong and they're scared, and you're right." I know that's right. Listen, I don't duck no fades. I don't run from no smoke. I'm running straight up your chimney. And I mean that. That's why I tagged them. Like, I want you to see it. I want you to know I'm talking about you. Listen, I will never throw stones and then hide my hand. Fuck that. Never, ever, ever throw stones and then hide my hands. So there's that. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to call it here for now. We do have late nights this evening, so we'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Late Nights with Santana. We will be back later this evening for Late Nights with Santana, and we are on night 3 of our 4 nights of abolishing police and prisons. And Al is absolutely amazing. That's our co-host for this week. And so it's going to be great. If you have not had an opportunity to join the conversation, please make sure you do so tonight. This evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Late Nights with Santana. It's been a great discussion so far. We had one guy last night fucking crash out. Like, was anybody there at the end of the conversation last night? He lost his shit. I had to put him on mute, and I said, "Listen, I don't know who you think you yelling at, but you're not gonna do this. He got so mad that we wouldn't let him tell us about a fucking pseudoscience. Yeah, it was fucking crazy. He got so mad that we wouldn't let him talk about his fucking pseudoscience. And then he started yelling at I don't remember if he was yelling at Al or yelling at Sean or Ari or something. I was just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Absolutely not. He was so, yes, James. Where the fuck is James at now, guys? Where the fuck is, of course, James wouldn't be here, but last night wanted to debate the entire fucking time. The entire fucking time, but now he's not here. He said, please don't summon. He was fucking insufferable. And since it was late nights, I was trying my best to like behave, right? And then management kept saying, like, sending me messages like, hey, make sure, like, you remember this isn't Sparring, this is late nights. And so I had to try to bring it back. Did you hear about what's going on in Louisiana? Yes, I already talked about that. They're literally trying to steal the midterms. So yeah, like it's fucking wild. 1 second here. 1 second. What up, Law? W's in chat for Law. W's in the chat for Nisa. Nisa sent a $30 donation. Hey, Nisa sent, just wanted to drop in and show some love, twin. I know that's right. Just finished my dialysis. Make sure you're taking care of yourself because you know how that actually does you. And I feel like absolute shit. I fucking knew it before I read it off. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. I'm going home and going to take a nap. Just wanted to say, hey, twin, and send some support and repost. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the kindness. And like I said, get some rest, take care of yourself. Listen in if you get an opportunity, especially later, but just make sure that you are taking care of yourself after your dialysis. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat. All right. We are, hold on. What the fuck is happening over here on Twitch? Twitch be randomly popping off. Golly, let me back up. W's in the chat for Baby Dolls, who sent 300 bits. W's in chat for Manders, who sent 5. W's in chat for Baby Doll, who gifted a subscription over on Twitch. W's in the chat for Manders, who sent 3 bits. W's in chat for Lamb Rose, who sent 2,000 bits. W's in the chat for One Mighty Pen, who sent 1,000 bits. W's in the chat for Lamb Rose, who gifted a sub to Cool Cat. W's in the chat for Lamb Rose, who sent 500 bits. W's in the chat for Sarah, who sent 1 bit. And W's in the chat for all the Twitchies. W's in the chat for all the Twitchies. W's in the chat for everyone. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, we'll be back later this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. Oh, also, W's in the chat for Harry. Harry is the only person that holds down Kick. We got, holy fuck, we got 13 followers over on Kick. Hey, chat. Hey, chat. We got 13 followers over on Kick. The price of the brick going up. You better get in on it now. You better get in on it now because the price of the brick going up. We got 13 followers over on Kick. Just trying to make sure y'all know. The price of the brick going up. That was in the chat for Harry, who's normally holding us down over on Kick. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here and we'll be back later this evening. You know how we do. Let's go.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing.
Bow, bow.
Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. That was in the chat for the chat, guys. It was fun this morning. It was fun. Happy that we. I might have to workshop the topics because it seems like people are running from it. I don't know. You guys let me know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, we'll be back later this evening with late nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Late nights with Santana. We have my special guest host Al. Abolitionist Al. We are doing abolishing prison and police, so please make sure you join this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Guys, I love you. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for being amazing. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. It is always